the silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. Yeah, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. We'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Fantastic to have you guys back. Go ahead and tap the screen. You know how we need to do. We know how we can get this out to the For You page as we continue to build the most inclusive space here on TikTok. But we cannot do it without your help, and we need your fingers tapping so we can push this out to the For You page. So if you guys could go ahead and tap the screen. Let's get it going. We need to get up to 7.5K likes before we can really get the show going. So go ahead and tap. Go ahead and open up your contact. Thank you so much for the shares. Open up your contacts and send this out to about 5 to 10 of your favorite people as we get into it. As you can see the backdrop, we got Trump on the docket today. He got the $175 million bond from that billionaire who owns that insurance company. So he was able to secure it. Is he a broke billionaire? Does he have money? What's going on with Trump as he continues to try to become the next president again for the second time, as he has all these court cases around the country? He's got the one up in New York with Alan Bragg, the hush money. We got the one down here with Fani Willis. Speaking of Fani Willis, we got some more interesting news from her that on Friday, she was at an event, and the judge let her know that she should not be using the race card. And she says that she's still going to talk about it anyway. I've been saying it all the time, and I'm going to continue to say I don't think that she's the right person to bring justice for Donald Trump, for the great state of Georgia. I think she has too much pride, too much ego, and too much bravado. And she probably should step down and give this to another DA to run the case, because again, she's doing interviews, she's making statements. And why is she doing that? She got away by the skin chin of her chin. She was able to stay on the case. He said, hey, you got to get rid of Wade, or you can let go of the case. Wade goes ahead and resigns, but she's still talking. Why doesn't she just be quiet? I talked about this before. Sometimes we need to know when to be quiet, and she doesn't know, because she feels she is above reproach. That's my feeling. She's above reproach. Too much pride, too much ego, too much bravado. She needs to quiet down. Stop talking. That's one of my catchphrases. She just needs to go and do the work. But she wants to be in the front. She wants to be the limelight. She says she doesn't want it, but everything she does seems to say otherwise. Why is she making statements about the case? Why isn't she just being quiet? Why? Because she's got too much pride, too much bravado, and too much ego. And she needs to put it in check and think about what is best for the case. And it's not her talking, in my opinion. It's not her talking. She should be working behind the scenes to ensure that we in the great state of Georgia get justice for what Donald Trump did. I do not think that she is the best person to bring justice at this particular point in time. So she needs to be quiet. That's my opinion. Doesn't matter. That's what I think. Let's go ahead and tap the screen. Let's push this out to the For You page. We need to get up to 7.5K likes before we bring our first guest up. So let's tap the screen. So we're going to talk about Trump. We're going to be talking about Fani. Is she a danger to the case? Is she a danger to the case? We also got Diddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs, whatever you want to say. Is this the end for him? Is this the end? Is this the end for Sean Puffy, whatever you want to call him? They raided his 2 mansions. Now I'm hearing that I listened to a interview with Cuomo. He was on a podcast, and he's saying he thinks that they don't have anything. He's also saying that he doesn't think, he also kind of wanted to bring it up to a kind of a race thing, that they would not have put Mark Cuban's children in handcuffs. I don't know if that's true or not. I know that he did pay Cassie $30 million. I don't know anybody that pays $30 million if there's no there. Bill O'Reilly, if you remember Bill O'Reilly from the No Spin Zone, he had a show on Fox. He paid somebody $25 million for some kind of essay or, something he did. I can't remember exactly. But he paid him $25 million. Do people pay $25 million if there's no there just to make it go away? I don't know. We know Puffy's a billionaire. I think he's a billionaire. Or at least he's close to $1 billion. But $30 million doesn't mean a lot. But there has to be, in my opinion, might be some there. So we're going to be talking about how you doing, Lakeisha. Lakeisha, my good friend, she came in yesterday and she shared some stories. We were talking about SA yesterday. Not SA, excuse me. DV, excuse me, domestic DV. And she shared a story, and we had the last 2 days we were talking about DV. Good morning. And she came up and she shared a story, and I appreciate her for sharing. That's what we want to build over here, the most inclusive space here on TikTok, where everybody has a voice, and your voice will be respected. It will not be dismissed, and your experiences will be respected and not dismissed. So I appreciate her for coming up and sharing her story 100%. Happy hump day. Happy hump day. So yeah, those are the things that we're going to be talking about, but we do need your help. Again, we're tapping the screen, pushing this out to the For You page so we can continue to build the most inclusive space here on TikTok. So with Trump was able to secure the $175 million. And, he can get the case appealed, at least, have the possibility of being appealed. We also got Fani Willis. She made the statements at an event down here in South Fulton, Florida, South Fulton County, Georgia, that she's still going to talk about the race card. She thinks that, she's playing the race card. She thinks a lot of this that is going on about her is about race. I disagree. I don't care if the lady on the other side was Stephanie or Erin McClare, Sue Ellen, whatever you want to say. They would still go out as hard as they are with Fani. That's my opinion. I've called for Fani to go ahead and give the case to another DA who will not try to be in the forefront. In my opinion, Fani wants the spotlight. She wants the spotlight to be on her and not about the case, not about Trump. She wants it to be on her. Kobe, what's going on down there in Florida? How you doing, sir? So let's continue to tap the screen. I know that we can do it. Again, support is a verb. You can go ahead and tap. That's the least you can do to help the platform grow as we are continuing to grow, continue to get new people in here who are discovering Mr. Denali XXL and the team. So, but we do need your help with pushing this out to the For You page. That's when I see a new member come up into the panel. I ask them, how did you hear about us? And they say, oh, I saw you on the For You page. And that's a direct result of the audience, because without the taps, without us pushing out to the For You page, new people will not be able to find us. So I do need your help in that capacity. Also, we have a YouTube channel. It's the same name, Mr. Denali XXL. And we're putting whole episodes and clips on the YouTube channel. So if you can make your way over there, check that out. Go ahead and become a friend on the YouTube so that can grow and we can continue to put things up there. And if you miss a clip or something like that, you can check things out over there as well as on the TikTok. We do put the clips up there as well. So that's what we have on the agenda today. And of course, you know how it happens over here. We'll be talking about one thing and then it'll spawn into something else. It'll have a lot of twists and turns and everything like that. But I definitely appreciate the people who join us, who come in and discovering us and enjoy the way that we are running the platform. So I appreciate that, but we do need your help to tap the screen. All right. So with the whole Trump situation, he's got the $175 million bond secured, and he can move on to something else. I think the case in New York City with Alan Bragg, the hush money case for Stormy Daniels. Hey, Lolo, how you doing? That will be starting in the next 3 weeks, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I appreciate all the taps. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's get up to that 7.5K. We got some people waiting in the queue, but we need to get the likes up so that we can push this out to the For You page, that we continue to build the most inclusive platform, in my opinion, here on TikTok. Some of our regulars, I'm sure Duke will be up here at some point. He's always got a lot to say. How you doing, Lolo? Good to see you. Lolo, where are you at, Lolo? What part of the country are you in? Because Lolo is a good supporter. She's a good friend to the platform. I appreciate her in the comments. What part of the country are you in, if you can share? Pittsburgh. Okay, the Commonwealth. Got it. My ex-girlfriend is from Pittsburgh. I've been there twice. It's a good city. It's got some good character there. Are you a big pierogi fan, Lolo? I think that's the name of it, pierogies. Are you a big pierogi fan? Am I saying it correctly? All right, I did. Thank you. I hit the nail around the head. Are you a pierogi fan? I guess if you're from that part of the country, you gotta like pierogies, I would imagine. And are you a Steeler fan? They got the new quarterback up there, Russell Wilson. And they also got Justin Fields. So I think Justin Fields probably be the future. Russell Wilson probably be for the next. When they are winning. Oh, do you jump off the pitch? Well, listen, with Tomlin, they have not had Mags. How are you, Mags? Good to see you. Mags is becoming a good friend. I see her in the comments. Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season, so they win consistently. They got more wins than losses usually in the season, so they do well. Hopefully, Russell Wilson will help take them to the next level where Tomlin can get his second Super Bowl win. That would be fantastic. Since Big Ben, they've been looking for a good quarterback, and they might have found it now with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. So we'll see. They always got a great defense, that's for sure. T.J. Watt, Mika Fitzpatrick, old Rod Woodson, Ryan Clark, Troy Polamalu from Hawaii. I think he's from Hawaii or Samoa, something like that. But fantastic. I'm glad that you are up in the Commonwealth. All right, let's continue to tap. We're at 2.5. Let's see if we can run this all the way up to 7.5, and then we got some people in the queue, and we will bring those people up. But I do need your help, so let's tap the screen. Share the live. Let me do my part and share the live as well, so that people know that we are live. If you are if you follow go ahead and hit that notification button so that you know when Mr. Denali XXL is going live. All right. Let's see here. Let's see if we get this out. Because we do need your help to continue to build the most inclusive platform here on TikTok. Get this out. Let's see. My man Big T. I reached out to Big T the other day. I hadn't seen Big T in a while. I got a bunch of DMs about Big T. And I said, well, let me reach out to Big T, see what's going on with Big T. He's doing fine. He's taking a little break. So, Big T, have fun as you're away. Big T, my man, the Silver Fox, I call him, up there in New Jersey. Big T. My main man, 6'4" brother up there. All right. So Trump's got his bond, and he can move on to the next case and see if he's able to stay out of jail. See if he can still run to be the next president. Of course, I think he is running to be president to stay out of jail. I think that's his get out of jail free card. He is running hard. He's spending a lot of money. I don't know if he's going to pay the money because he does have a habit of not paying his debts. He has a big habit of not paying his debt. So we'll see how this all shakes out. But he definitely did get the bond. And we'll see how that all shakes out. All right. Hey, Carolyn, how are you doing there? Down there in the great state of Louisiana, the boot, as they call it, working at the DOT. Continue to tap, tap, tap. Let's run the likes up. I appreciate everybody who's doing it. I appreciate everybody who contributes. I appreciate everybody who is a fan of the platform and how we're running things over here, where everybody will have an opportunity to speak. Good so far. Glad to hear it. I'm sure you're happy that Trump got his bond for $175 million. I'm sure you're happy about that. Are you, Caroline? And all my Trump supporters out there. My friend down in Louisiana. Not Louisiana. In Florida, Precious. I know she's happy. I know Sean down there in Leesburg. I know he's happy about that. So, yeah. So we got that, Caroline. We also got Fawny's back in the news again. She made some statements over the weekend. I know you as a Trump supporter want Fawny to stay on the case. I don't think that she's the right person to bring justice for the great state of Georgia. So I'd like for her to give this case to somebody else. That's what I'm thinking, because I think that she has too much pride, too much ego, and too much bravado. The judge warned her about making statements about race according to the case, and she says that she will continue. She will talk about it anyway. She said that at a women's event this last Friday, she was getting an award. It was a celebration of powerful women here in Georgia. And I think she got an award, and she said that she would continue to talk about it because she feels that race is playing a big part in reason that she's having the issues that she's having. Again, not taking any accountability for what she did. It's always somebody else's fault. What is going on when you have a sitting DA who does not want to take responsibility for what she has done, is fanning the flames of race? What's going on here? She has to take some responsibility for having poor judgment. She has to, in my opinion. And that's why I think that she should not be continuing to have the case in her jurisdiction or her office. So if you look up the news story, you can go ahead and look at it and read it. And she said she's going to continue, even though she's been admonished by the judge for making it about race. She continues to do it. She says she's not going to stop. And for that reason, she seems like she's a little tone deaf. And she also, in my opinion, has too much pride, too much ego, and too much bravado. And she continues to be defiant about the case. It's absolutely fascinating that she will not take any kind of responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault. That's ridiculous. She's got to take accountability. She's a sitting DA, and she's still trying to blame other people of why this case is a little shaky. It's been delayed now over 70 something days, and mainly delayed because of Fani's actions, not nobody else's. It's not because she's a strong black woman. It's because she made a mistake and she won't own up to it. What is that? What do we teach our children? Own up to when you make a mistake. I'm sorry, and try to do better next time. She won't do it because she's got too much pride, too much bravado, and too much ego. That's her problem. And I'm gonna call it out on my little bitty platform that we have here. I'm gonna call it out. And then we also got the Diddy case. What is Diddy gonna do? Is this the end? Is this the end of Diddy or Puffy? Is this the end of him? I like that picture, running from the police as they trying to, listen, when you have a raid like that, I mean, they have to have some kind of, I like that, Carolyn, and maybe she needs to go, Geaux, go. Wow. Look at Carolyn with the jokes this morning. I appreciate that. Absolutely. I think she does need to go. She needs to hand this off to another DA and let them take the case because she wants to make it about her because of her ego, her pride, and her bravado. And we have Diddy. Diddy got raided. His 2 homes got raided. Got 2 sons put into handcuffs. Continue to tap the screen. Don't forget, we got to tap. Let's get this up to 7.5K likes so we can go ahead and get some people up in the box. But yeah, she definitely needs to. I mean, Puffy, there has to be some there, especially him paying Cassie $30 million. I mean, I don't think you do that just because. My opinion. I mean, of course, he has to have his due process and his day in court. But it seems like where there's smoke, there is some fire. They don't put a raid on like that on, especially on a powerful guy like Puffy or Sean Combs or P. Diddy, whatever name you want to give them. They don't usually do that unless they got something, especially DHS, Department of Homeland Security. The feds usually have their I's dotted and T's crossed. They're gonna check, double check, especially going after a guy like Puffy. They're not doing that just willy-nilly. They're doing that because they got something going on. Or they got some evidence. They took out a bunch of stuff out the homes. So we'll see how this goes. So Puffy's also on the agenda. So continue to tap. Thank you for the taps we've been getting so far. Continue to tap so we can go ahead and push this out to the For You page. So we can continue to build and become more inclusive where you will have your opportunity to speak. But of course, if we hear something, we might push back on you. Be prepared to have your thinking challenged. Thank you so much for all the taps. Thank you for the shares. Also, if you are not subscriber, if you're a follower, go ahead and push that notification button so that you know when we are going live. And our plan is to go live every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Unless something goes on where I have to push it up or push it back, depending on what's going on with my business. Sometimes I have to be a little bit more hands-on than I'd like to, because I like to spend most of my time here. But we've committed to doing 4 hours each and every day. Sometimes we'll do a pop-up show. I was going to do one last night, but I got tied up with some other things because there were some things that I didn't want to talk about. But we might do a pop-up show tonight or maybe later on in the week. Don't forget about our subscription. We had our first subscriber only live last Friday, and it was spicy. Let me just tell you, it got really, really spicy with my main man Sean down in Leesburg. What the?
He wouldn't be in the hospital if he was.
Let's see here. Who is that?
Yeah, I had to turn my TV down for a minute.
Yeah, what's up, Deadpool? What's happening, bro?
Not much.
Doing okay?
They caught him?
Did they catch Puffy? No, he's still running, bro. Puffy is still Puffy is still on the run. I'm having some struggle Wi-Fi right now. What's going on up in New Jersey, sir?
I'm in New York. My bad.
Excuse me. What's going on in New York? My apologies.
That's okay. Nothing really. They just up in the security. They put metal detectors at the train stations now. So in case somebody wants to try to come on trains with a weapon, the metal detectors go off. But other than that, there's really nothing going on.
How's the weather?
Now the weather is raining out here. Crazy.
Is it raining?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a little rain over here as well.
What state are
Last
you
night.
in?
What's that?
What state are you in?
I'm in Georgia.
Georgia. I have cousins out in Georgia.
Oh yeah? Where are they at?
Dang, I don't even know what part of Georgia they live in.
Okay.
But
Have you been down here?
no, I haven't. I've been through there. No, I've been through Georgia.
Okay.
I gotta come out there.
Yeah, I mean I like it, because I'm originally from New York, so
Oh, you are?
yeah. I'm originally
What?
from New York.
What part?
Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, Brooklyn in the house.
My father lives out there. My both pops.
In Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Okay. Your
He lives
father,
on.
he was alumni with Johnny, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Mr. Benjamin, what's up, brother?
Hey,
Mr.
Mr.
Benji.
Denali. No, as soon as I seen you guys up there, I said, "Oh, let me get on up here. These are my kind of guys."
I appreciate you so much,
Mr.
Mr. Benjamin. I
Benji.
appreciate what you say on the platform. You're definitely a good friend to the channel.
Definitely, it's an honor to see someone make transition in their lives. Weren't always the most positive. Have experiences in what you're talking about, and then offer yourself to be judged by sharing a lot of parts of your life. And I don't see a lot of people complimenting you. Um, I see a lot of people judging you.
Mm,
Um, I would like for them to balance that out a little bit with just some of the compliments of what you provide as well as what they feel like you don't.
right.
It would be a lot better conversation. What you think about that, Mr. Poole?
You hit it on the head, brother.
Uh, I just let me come up here and see what we're talking about today because I don't know how when you ask someone uh, not to justify one bad act with another.
Right.
To me, that's saying if you can see the bad in one person, then you're asking them to balance it out by not ignoring the bad in the other.
Sure.
And I've seen, and it seems like all the basis is because you choose to be the head of the household and help in the house. I choose not to be in a position where I have to verbally argue with the person I'm living with for whatever reason. I
If I
choose
don't,
not
I'll
to
lock her
be.
up.
I choose not to
Rashard,
be in a.
Rashard, Rashard. You've been here before, bro. You know how we do things over here. Please don't talk over Mr. Benjamin or any other guest, sir. We're gonna get to you in a second.
Oh, my
Finish.
bad. I thought he was done.
No. Mr. Benjamin has his style. Let me go ahead and I'll get to you in a second, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Benjamin. You may finish, sir.
I'm glad we have another person. I'll shorten it up. When you make a choice and you make it obvious to people, I just think it should be respected, not questioned. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Mr. Benjamin. Appreciate you so much. Rashard, what did you want to? Where you been, bro? I haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, been on, talking to my conservative friends about how we're gonna fix this country because it's a total mess. Yeah, Fannie Willis, she ought to be ashamed of
Hang on,
herself,
hang
bro.
on, hang on. We want to give her a correct name, which is Fawny, not Fanny.
Fannie Willis, yeah, like she gotta be ashamed of herself. Yeah, getting into an affair, spending government money on these lavish vacations. She's
Well,
being exposed. She's making mistakes
hang on a
that
second.
amateur should be
Do
making.
you think that she gave him back the money that he spent?
Well, as she said that we don't use credit or debit, we keep money under our beds. As she said, so there's no proof.
No, I'm saying no, the question was, do you believe that she gave him back the money?
No,
You don't believe she gave him back the money.
no.
Okay.
Same thing with Raphael Warnock. You better be ashamed of himself too, bro. You a pastor. You should know better.
What did Raphael? I'm not familiar with. Is there a scandal with Raphael Warnock?
Nah, Raphael Warnock, she defended Fannie Willis. I'm like, bruh, this
No,
woman
I'm
got
saying. So a lot of people are defending Fawny. What should he be ashamed of for defending somebody he may believe in?
she's making mistakes that an amateur should be making. She should know better.
I mean, you voted for Trump, right?
Absolutely. Without him, this country's
Okay. Hey,
doomed.
whoa. Do you think Trump has made mistakes, sir?
Oh yeah, he's a human being. He made mistakes.
Okay. Tell me the mistakes that Trump has made. Let me hear.
The document situations.
You talk about the classified documents that he had at Mar-a-Lago's bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think should be done about that?
Hey, like I said, innocent till proven guilty.
No. I'm saying you said he made a mistake. Yes.
Yeah, he made a mistake.
Okay. What mistake did he make? Tell me the mistake he made in your eyes as a Trump supporter.
Like I'm not one of these people that defend Trump no matter what.
I'm
He's
not
just
saying you are. I'm asking you. You said he made mistakes. What mistake do you think, as a Trump supporter, he has made with the classified documents?
taking him home instead of just sending them right back to the White House.
Is what he did a
Keeping them
crime?
at Mars-Lago. Keeping them at Mars-Lago.
Is that a crime?
It's up to the law. Apparently, they say it's not.
No. I'm saying you say he made a mistake. Do you think the mistake he made is a crime?
Yeah.
Okay. Should he be prosecuted for that?
Well, I'm not the law. They feel otherwise.
No,
He's
I
still.
know. Do you think I don't know that you're not the law? I'm asking you. Do you think, based you being, because you're voting for Trump, do you think that he broke the law?
Yeah.
Okay, and you don't, since you think he broke the law, you have no trouble voting for someone who broke the law, right?
End of the day, these politicians, they all break laws.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you voting for Trump. Your own admission, you said he broke the law. What's so funny? Did I mischaracterize what you said?
Because I see what you're doing. You're pivoting from
See, I'm
Fannie
doing
Willis.
what? I'm asking a
Hold
simple
up, hold up, hold up.
question.
You're pivoting from Fannie Willis. You don't want to.
No.
You don't want to talk about her.
No, listen. I have got so much flack for talking about Fawny. I have no problem talking about Fawny. I think Fawny should go. I've already said it, but we're talking about
Okay.
you right now. You said you think that Trump has broken the law.
Yeah.
How do you reconcile voting for a lawbreaker to be the commander in chief?
Well, I'm listening to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said he can still run for president.
No, that's not what I said, sir. I'm asking you, as an individual voting for president, you feel he broke the law. Do you have a problem voting for someone who broke the law, according to you?
No.
You don't.
No.
So you want a lawbreaker as your president.
Regardless, I'm pretty sure you've broken the law once or twice. You just
I'm
have
not
got
talking
away
about
with it.
me. I'm not talking about
See.
me.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what-
Okay.
What?
Okay.
I'm asking you. You said that he broke the law. Your words, sir.
Look at Hillary. Like, let me give you an
Uh-oh,
example.
I'm smelling a pretzel.
Fine. I'm not denying he broke the law. I'm not.
And I'm asking you, how do you reconcile voting for someone by your admission has broken the law? How do you reconcile voting for him?
I'm still gonna vote for him. I still think he's
I
just the best.
understand it. How do you reconcile it?
Okay, I recognize that he's breaking the law. He's a human being. He makes flaws. He makes mistakes. And maybe there are some better alternatives, but I don't see none.
Okay, who'd you vote for in 2016?
I voted for
vote?
20. Oh, you mean with Hillary and Trump?
Yes, sir.
Oh, absolutely not Trump. I could not vote for Hillary. Absolutely
Okay.
not.
All right. Okay. What about like in 2012 with Obama and Mitt Romney?
Mm, I don't know. Like I didn't really vote that time. It was
Okay,
like
you didn't vote at that. Okay, great. But each time that you voted for Trump when he was on the ballot, right?
I was kind of busy during the whole Biden situation, and I was like not focused. But when it came down to Hillary and Trump, it was
Yeah.
easy pick Trump.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So basically, I think what you're saying is that no matter what Trump does, you're going to vote for Trump, right?
Depends how far he goes.
What? Tell me, give me the line that he has to cross to not get your vote.
Make us all poor as hell.
Make us so poor as hell. At the whole country?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Rashad, you're always welcome over here. I want to go to my good friend Kobe. Kobe, uncut down in Florida. What's happening?
How's
A
it going?
Santa state.
I'm sorry, Rashad. What'd you say?
You can go. You can go. I was just quoting. You can go, Kobe.
Oh, okay. Cool. Kobe, what's up? What you got?
Um, yeah, no, to speak kind of to what he was saying, I guess he said, as far as Trump breaking the law,
Hmm.
I don't know if he did or didn't, but for myself, yeah, that
Wait, you
wouldn't be a
don't know?
factor.
Do you think he had the documents in Mar-a-Lago, Kobe?
I think he has some documents. I think he's questioning whether he was, able to or not able to. And
Able
so,
to or
but
not
I would
able to
say,
what?
but
Able to or not able to what?
to possess them by law. So he's saying that I gave over the documents that were asked of me. They're saying, "Oh, you had more there." They said, "You didn't ask for that." That's what he's saying. So,
I mean, is
but
there a
what I was
question or not he can have those secret top classified documents out of the custody of the government, like at his private residence? Is that a question?
yeah, that is the question. If not, then there would already been a resolution to it.
No, I guess I'm asking you. I think it's against the law to remove classified documents and not have them in a skiff and all those kind of different security procedures they have to make sure they don't fall into the wrong hands. Also, there are reports from left, right, and center that he was showing those documents around to guests of his Mar-a-Lago estate.
Right, and that would be speculation. But what I'm saying is, either way, if there was a resolution, you could say that there isn't a resolution, so it would be speculation at this point.
Okay. All right. I mean, I know you're gonna vote for Trump no matter what, so it doesn't matter.
Well,
No, Trump.
him breaking the
Hang
law
on, hang on,
is
hang on. There's
irrelevant.
nothing. There's nothing that Trump can do that would not have him earn your vote, right?
Right, because I'm not in his personal life, so
No, I
I'm
got it.
voting
I
based.
got it. I got it. I
Yeah, I'm
got it.
voting based on me.
I
So
know,
what
but
he
I'm
does
saying
in
there's.
reference to the law is a him thing.
I know, but there's nothing that he can do. Can he be convicted of
Yeah,
anything
there,
of the 85 charges against him that would make you not vote for him?
no, but I
Gotcha.
would not vote for him on the basis of things that he could do that would negatively affect me. But something that affects him, no, that's not going to affect my vote. I vote for
Do
me.
you not think that if someone is convicted of a crime that says something about their character?
Well, I'm not voting for him based on character. I'm voting for him based on economics.
So if he had economic crimes,
Mhm.
would that give you pause?
No, not unless it
You
was economic. Not unless it was economic crime on me. So if his crime
Oh, okay.
affected
So
my
you're okay. Hang on a
economics,
second. So you're
correct.
just for self. Nobody else matters.
Right, I'm just me. So therefore, I vote based on what benefits me and my family. So yes.
All right.
Dude,
All right.
So I
voting
can't
for
vote. I can't
president
vote
should not
based on
just
what
be
affects somebody else that I
economic.
don't know. That's what
Good.
I'm saying.
Hugo. Listen. Hugo, we do things a little bit differently over here. We try not to talk over people. You just got into the room and you got to wait your turn. Because if two people are talking, then no one can hear what either person is saying. Okay? Give me a second and let me rifle through the rest of the panel and then we'll get to you. Well, hang on a second. You got something to say. Let's hear what you got to say that's so important. Go ahead. Unmute yourself, Hugo, and we'll wait for you because you got something that's so important. You came in ready to go. So let's hear what you got to say. Let's hear it.
All right, man. If you're gonna vote for a president based on your economics, well, like they say, you're fucked up. Which
Hang on,
means that
whoa,
you
hang
have
on
to.
1 second, sir. I try not to have any profanity on the platform.
All right.
Okay,
I'll
let
admit that.
me.
But if you're
Okay,
going
hang
to
on,
vote for,
hang on. Let's break that down for a second. Is Kobe not allowed to look at the political landscape and make the best decision that he thinks is for him and his family. Is he allowed to do that?
Yes,
Okay.
but
I think
all
that's
right.
what, hang on. I think that's what Kobe's doing. What is your challenge with Kobe looking at the political landscape and saying, well, this is what's good for me and my family, and that's how I'm going to vote? What's wrong with that, Hugo?
All right. I'm gonna give you a perspective. I'm not American. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I am from Mexico, and I have a president that I really, really admire. And in this case, common sense would become like this: if you're going to vote for a president based on your own personal economics, then it's not really gonna be a well-off country. It's gonna be all about you. Now, your own personal economics should become from you, not depend on the government. Now, in the context of
Well,
that,
doesn't the government set up for a to be business friendly or whatever your whatever industry you in? Aren't you looking at that because you want to make sure that you're able to operate in a business friendly if you own a business? Shouldn't you make that decision based on that?
well, you can make business just about anywhere in the world. It's about
Well,
the way
let me
you
hear
run the.
what's your. Are you able to vote, sir?
No, no, but I'm
Okay,
giving you
great.
a
So let
perspective.
me let me Thanos snap my finger, and then I give you the right to vote. What would be your top three issues that would make you vote?
I will vote for a president who cares about people.
Okay, so
I
you want
want
a
who cares.
moralistic president.
Look, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna vote, but and it just happened in
Well, I
Mexico.
mean, are
They,
you able to vote here in this country, sir?
no, no, no.
Okay,
I'm not
great.
even
So
a citizen.
I Thanos snap my finger, and now you're a voter. So the question is, you're saying you want a president who cares about people.
All right, I'll give you an example. All right,
Go ahead.
if you care about people, you would ban vaping.
You
Vaping
would
is
do what?
not good. You would ban vaping rather than
Vaping.
banning.
Hang on, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. So you want? Oh
So
boy.
it's an industry.
So
Vaping
you wanna?
and
So
vapors are
you
an
wanna
industry.
bet? You want to take away the right for someone to smoke or vape?
All right, I'll give you an example and forget about that voting. In Mexico, there is a
Well, I don't want
president.
to talk about Mexico because you're not in Mexico. Why aren't you in Mexico? Why are you here in the United States?
Okay, let me just finish
Why are
talking.
you here in the
Allow me
United
to.
States?
You're a host. I cannot make any context if you keep trying to interrupt me.
No, I'm asking you. You can after you can after you answer my question. Why are you here in the United States?
Well, I am here because I believed that I would have a better economic and cultural appreciation. You
Okay,
know what? You know
okay,
what? The
that's great.
reality of it, look,
That's
man, I'm gonna
fantastic.
break it down real easy, real
No, no,
for
no.
real.
I'm not
So,
done with my
so
question yet. Hang on, because you brought up what they do in Mexico. Why do you think we should care about what they're doing in Mexico if you're here
I
in
mean,
the United States?
it's like because, man, like if you don't allow me to go ahead and finish it, telling you why, or a perspective, don't you ever look at other leaders how they behave in their country, how they make laws? Do you
I
can
look
picture
at the
yourself
fact
great
that
at what you're doing here?
I
There is
look
nothing
at
to be learned from other places.
I look at the fact that our southern border people are trying to run from Mexico, trying to get here in the United States because they want a better life, and you're here telling me what's going on in Mexico.
All right. Yes. All right. Well, as a Mexican, I can tell you that the way why the people are running away is because the bad people have a rule over guns, which are
We
American
don't want to
guns.
use guns. We want to use the word pew pew or Second Amendment because I don't want to get TikTok banned. Okay,
All right. I'm kind of new at this, so I'm not quite sure.
no problem. I
Okay.
got you covered.
Uh, so, but
Okay. And can I correct
what
you
I'm
guys on
saying is
something?
that Trump will not make somebody broke rich. But if you're a business owner, yes, there's a lot of things that
Hang
will
on.
be.
I'm going to push back on you. I got to push back on you, sir. Are you saying that when Trump was president, people did not? become more wealthy?
That's a lie.
Please, I'm talking to Hugo. I need
No, no,
Hugo to answer that question.
No, people did not become more
People
wealthy.
did not become more wealthy when Trump was president.
You're putting a bias on your
Well,
conversation.
hang on. Hang
You're
on.
only asking
Everybody
questions that
quiet
I
for
can
one
answer.
second. When
Um,
you said out of your mouth, sir, that people that were broke did not become rich with President Trump. Is that what you said?
I say there are people who are being broke also, and that in this government that they're also becoming rich. You know, the economics in during Trump's era was much better. Yes, of course,
Oh,
your S&P 500 went up a way high, but you have to understand why. If you know anything about politics
Good
and
afternoon.
being a diplomat, you know,
You got a headache already?
he is a good
He's talking
businessman. There
about
were
food.
no wars. I
Mm.
completely agreed with Donald
Tell it to
Trump.
go away.
When you come in the media and say people crossing the border are animals, it's like if I say all white people are fucking racist, and
okay.
sorry,
I,
guys, and if I say all black people live off of welfare, you know, that would not be fair. And that's, you
well,
know,
it's
you
not
have
only
to be
not
a
fair.
diplomat.
It's not only not fair. It's not accurate. But I'm saying we're just speaking about the economics. Kobe is making a
Be
decision based
realistic
on
and stop
economics.
putting a bias and controlling the media.
I agree.
Yes. However,
Who's talking?
is
Who
not
said
going to be
that?
his
Who
economy is
said
not
that
going to
just
improve
now?
unless he improves himself in his business wise. Of course, like that one thing that Donald Trump is promising to cut out the employment tax. I mean, yes, it'll work out for everyone, but then again, tax for why? You are the owner of the federal bank. You practically print out money every time you need it. You loan yourself money. The United States of America is the most indebted country in the world.
What line of work are you in,
So
Hugo? What line of work are you in?
it don't really matter, man.
No,
The
no.
thing is
Okay, are
that it's
you?
true.
Hang on one second, because I've been letting you talk. Do you not want to share what line of work you in?
You would take away credibility to what I have to say.
Will
That's
you
what you're
please?
asking.
I'm asking. No, I'm not. I'm
Are
asking
you
you what.
expecting for me to
I'm
answer
asking,
you?
sir. Hang on, Hugo. Listen.
I do land care, lawn care.
Okay, what? Okay, what is that? Is that not an honorable profession, sir?
It is. It is. Every work is honorable. You know.
Absolutely. So why would you
But
think I would
the
dismiss you?
reason that
Because
you're
because
asking is to control economic. You're
why do
putting a
you
bias
assume I will dismiss you because you are in lawn care?
because you asked. Because it makes no relevance to what I do
You don't think
to
what someone
what
does for a living, you don't think what someone does for a living can give you a gleam of who that person is?
don't you think you put then you think it don't you think that your audience may not see it the way that you see it, and don't you think I know what you're doing with your questioning?
Well,
I
okay,
understand that.
because only I know what I'm doing with my questioning. What do you think I'm doing with my questioning?
I think that you're asking what I do, and you most likely believe that I don't do that. I'm not an economic. I don't have a doctorate in economics because I'm here on TikTok, and it's
Hang on a
obviously
second. I don't have a doctorate in anything. Kobe, do you have a doctorate in your line of work, sir? A PhD?
No, no, sir.
I mean, what are you saying, sir? All art, as you said, all work is honorable. I was just
yes.
asking what you did, what industry you in, because you have
All
a
right.
lot of things to say, and
Okay.
I'm
Let me
just understanding. I'm trying to understand where you're getting these ideas from. Is this from a book? Is this from YouTube? Is this from experience in life?
I
That's
would
all.
say experience in life. Look,
Good,
I'm
fantastic.
promising
How did you
it
hear
is not.
about the platform? How did you hear about this platform?
It's no hidden secret that the United States, is the most indebted country,
The
and
most what? The most
and
what?
that you owe money to the federal bank.
You said y'all. Are you part of that, y'all?
You, as
Are,
a
are
as a
you are you a
as a
part of
country.
the are you a part of the y'all?
Yes,
Well, you
somewhat.
said you as if you were separating yourself from this country.
Well, in the context of country.
Are you a
I
patriot, sir? Are you a patriot?
what do you mean by patriot?
Do you love this country?
I
Oh.
love the world, man. You
No,
know,
no, sir. Do you love this country that you're in right now that is earning you, affording you a way to earn a living and things like that? Do you love this country? Yes or no?
all right. I love the landscape. The
So that's a no. You don't love the country.
I don't like believe in. It's not about love or hate, man. It's about knowing what's out there.
If Canada invaded us tomorrow, would you pick up arms to defend this country?
I would never pick up arms for nobody.
You wouldn't pick up arms for your family?
I'll just go back to Mexico, I guess.
That's very telling.
Can I
That's
chime in for a second?
Take the next
very.
left onto
Look,
West
as
Road
an
East.
immigrant, I don't like
Hang on,
that
everybody.
statement.
Hang on, everybody. That's very, very telling, Hugo. Very, very
I mean,
telling.
I don't think that I would go to war for anyone. I mean,
I
I don't believe
said,
in
this is the
violence.
question I said, sir. If Canada decided to invade us tomorrow and they rolled a tank down your street, would you pick up arms to defend this country?
All right, I'm gonna put it this way: you don't give me a gun right now, right? I cannot
Pew
own a
pew
gun.
pew 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 pew.
Oh, sorry. I cannot own a pew pew. But if you were invaded, then yes, you would expect for me to. You would
I never
actually.
got an answer from you yet.
It all depends on the context and why the
I
the
gave
the
a very
invasion
clear
takes off.
context. A Canadian tank is rolling down your street. Soldiers are down your street. They're trying to take over this great country. Are you, Sir Hugo, going to pick up a weapon and defend the country?
I think
I would.
no. I have to believe. I have to be honest that even if Mexico were to have that same situation, I still wouldn't have or pick up a
I'm
gun.
not, again, I'm not really talking about Mexico. I'm talking about the country that you earn a living in, the country that you live in, the country, that the things that we're doing in this country. You live here because you're not living in Mexico. You came here, I assume, for a particular reason. And I'm asking you, if Canadian tanks are rolling down your street, would you pick up a weapon to defend this country that you live in?
Mm, I'll pick up the weapon
All right.
probably,
All right, we're
but
gonna go to somebody else because I'm gonna take you off the hot seat because you can't seem to answer that very, very simple question. But
but
I
I said
appreciate,
it. No, I said
I.
no.
You're right. You said no. Okay, fine.
I mean,
Kobe, what do you think about that, sir?
Well, it's just funny because he had came in talking about my statement, and then he's like, for the people. And you ask him, would you fight for the people? He's like, no.
Right, right. I mean,
But then,
I think the answer was very, very
I would
telling.
not kill nobody.
I didn't. Whoa, Hank, sir, please don't use that word. You want to use the word unalive. I know you're new here as far as TikTok, but I want to give you just a little education on how TikTok works. We don't want to use the GUN word. We want
There
to
you
use
go.
pew pew.
I understand. I understand. It's a platform, but there you go again with the freedom of speech. You can't use your freedom of speech liberally.
Well, hang on. This is a private company. Would you say TikTok is a private company?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
obviously.
don't they get to make rules for their private company?
Yes, and the
Okay.
government sets out those rules, and if it's not protecting your freedom of speech,
All right. Well, I find it really rich that people from another country come here and talk about the country, but they don't live in the country that they were born in.
and another thing is, it's a decision to come to America from Mexico was
Someone came
also
and
a
got you,
personal
you know
one.
sir,
what,
and brought
man?
you here.
A personal
I
one. He thought it was better for him and his family or whatever. So he's doing the same thing. He's saying the same thing. It
I
just,
respect
you
that,
know.
but don't come in here and shitting and pissing in the country's Cheerios, the country that's giving you the opportunity. Do you send money back home, sir?
to be honest, no, man. You
Oh, you
know,
keep so
I have to say, look, I, I don't want to talk crap about the country. That's not what
you
I'm
already
saying.
did. Too late.
I'm
That
saying
bell has
all
already been rung, sir. That bell has
no,
already been
not
rung.
about that. I'm talking about the politics, man. You know,
Are
I'm
you
talking
what
about
are you talking
politics.
about? Are you talking about Mexican politics or are you talking about United States politics?
talking about the American politics.
Well, then that's shitting and pissing on the country.
No, that's not. It depends. Like maybe on your beliefs, you know. But if I tell the same thing to somebody else, you know, who
I could
actually lives a
anyway, listen, this is hey man, listen, I appreciate you coming up. You don't have to go, but we're going to go ahead and go to this guy here. Is it Patrick? Patrick?
Yes.
Yeah, what you got to say, sir?
Well, you know what? I've forgotten what the content that I came up on. Y'all was on so long.
Listen, that will happen. I know at 50, I'm 50 and I forget sometimes too.
No, it's cool, but now I'm looking at. So are you're Trumpsters, correct? Or not in a negative way, but you vote for Trump?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Do you think what made you think I'm voting for Trump?
Oh no, no. I was listening and it was going back and forth. I was trying to figure it out. I was like, is he voting for Trump or is he not? But if you're not, I'm sorry. I
I'm not. No,
apologize.
listen. What I choose to do with my vote, I've said it on here, and I'll probably say it again. But I'm trying to see what brought you up. Was it the Trump? Was it funny? What do you think about the
No,
conversation with Hugo?
it was honestly it was a Trump, and people making arguments for
Are you
Trump
voting for
or
Trump?
oh hell no. I
Okay.
mean, I would vote for Tanner before I vote for Trump.
Okay. Tell
Uh,
me what is it about Biden that makes you stay in the Biden camp?
and I'll say this, and I don't know if I'll get attacked or not, but Biden, let's say Biden is a little senile. He forgets things. He has to be reminded about things. The reason I will vote for Biden is because he listens to his cabinet, and he has a good cabinet, and he's done a lot of positive things. The infrastructure bill, and so on and so forth. That's why I would vote for Biden over Trump because Trump don't. You can look for his first 4 years and he didn't listen to his people when they were advising him to do things. Only thing they were doing is cleanup. They were doing cleanup duty for all the silly things that he was saying when he was on his campaign or when he was in the White House or when he was telling people to put bleach in their skin and some people did it and died. So that's why I would vote for Biden, who
Underlife,
has a
underlife, underlife.
oh unalive. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's why I would vote for Biden because he has a strong cabinet. Trump don't have a strong anything, as you can see, time and time again.
Well, listen. You can
Cabinet
say
after cabinet person have turned against him and broken.
you can say he didn't have a strong thing, but he was able to get three Supreme Court justices on the court, where the court now
I
is
know.
6-3 in a conservative
Okay,
way
you
for
know
the next
what? And
35, 40 years.
I I don't look at that as a positive thing because if you look at well, and this, like I said, it's a personal opinion. If you look at the
Would
things
you
that
hang
they
on one
did,
second? I'm gonna let you finish. Do you think that is a success for Trump to have had three appointees on the Supreme Court? Is that a successful part of his presidency?
no,
You putting bias on those things, man.
Sir, it's not a bias, it's a
no,
fact.
I mean, you're making you think not. Of course, it is a success, but you're making it out to be as if to praise him. You know, you're making the guy
No,
seem like
sir.
he's
That
doing
you know
great.
what? You're listening through your feelings. I'm stating a fact that he was able to put three Supreme Court justices on the Supreme Court, which made the court 6-3 for the next 35, 40 years. Tell me how that is not a success.
Well, it's not because then you got another party running the country, the whole contrary party running the country.
Okay,
The,
I'll spin
the
it
next,
around. If Biden was able to put three Supreme Court justices on it and made the court liberal for the next 35 years, would that be a success for Biden?
well, it's not
and I'm
because
gonna
it
I'm gonna say
changed.
I'm
It
gonna be
changed
totally honest with you.
with Biden.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. It's because yes, I am thinking with my feelings because the person and the mindset of Trump and him putting those three people on there, I don't trust him. I don't
Well,
trust him
listen,
to do the
he
right
said what
thing.
he was going to
I
do
don't
when he
think
was
they,
running. He
well
said
no,
that
and
he would put these people
I
on the
know that.
Supreme Court. Did we
But
not
his moral
believe him?
values don't. I don't believe in his moral values. I don't believe he has any. Tell you the truth. And when you
Well,
put people
listen,
up there like that, they mirror your moral values.
sir. Whether that's are you going to make a moral issue on the Supreme Court and the people he put up there?
But that's what I'm saying. The people that he put up there, it will. I think there's shadows of. I think there's shadows of him, and a little bit of him.
Oh,
It's
but
just I just don't. I won't get behind.
aren't the two or the Obama put two on there? Aren't they shadows of him?
Yes,
So
and
of
and and and,
course.
and, and looking at Obama's morals and the things that he stood on, I can accept those. The
Okay.
things that Trump did, I can't accept those.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean,
Listen,
that's just how I feel. I mean,
I got you.
this like this, and like I say, I don't hate Trump, but uh,
Who's that?
again, I can't back a person like that, and I'm not even going to go through all his crimes that he's been convicted of.
Well,
I
hang
just
on.
can't.
He hasn't been convicted of anything yet.
Yes, he has. He's okay.
Tell me. Okay.
He
Hang
had
on.
to pay.
Stop
He
right
had to
there.
pay.
Stop. Please
Well, I'm gonna
stop.
tell you what
One.
he has
Hang on.
been
Let me
convicted
lay
of.
out the question, sir. Tell me what
Okay.
he has been convicted of felony crime, sir.
Okay. He the the university that he had to pay out people that he defrauded, and that's the
Okay.
felony.
Is that
The
it? No, wait, whoa,
the
whoa,
wait.
whoa. Let's slow down.
Let me name it.
Let's
Okay.
slow down. I want to take it one by one.
Okay.
Was that a felony, sir? Or was he convicted?
I
Or
believe
was he held liable?
That was liable.
Okay. What?
he was
I'm
held liable.
right.
Okay.
Go ahead. Next.
Okay, I mean, okay. I can't. You're right. I can't say that he was convicted of a felony. I can only say that he was held liable and had to pay punitive damages.
Sure,
Same
held liable.
in my book. Did the same thing, huh?
No. Well, hang on.
The same thing. You're held
That's not
liable.
the same thing, sir.
You,
When he fills out an
it,
application, does he have to
why
put that
isn't it
he's
the same thing?
when he fills out an application, does he have to put convicted felon on there?
No, I did not just. I said that he may not have to account for it, but again, I'm going
So
with
you
my
don't go
feelings.
according to facts. You
Yeah,
go
I go.
according to your
But
feelings.
see, that's the thing, though. If you're held liable, that is a fact in my little world because being held liable means that you had a lot of money and you can get away with it.
Yeah, but he's still not a criminal. He's not a
Okay,
convicted
yeah,
felon.
okay. You can say that he's still not. You can
Right.
say he's not. I still believe that he's a
No, no, no.
SAer.
Well, tell me the fact of what he is. Then.
Okay, and you can go. I'm not gonna argue the point, but you can go look it up yourself. That what about the families that he SA'd underage girls and he paid them off
So
and had
is Puffy a criminal?
if Puffy if they get Puffy and they
No, hang
make
on a
say
second.
he's liable, yes.
He paid
I
Cassie
didn't.
$30 million.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He should be in jail.
Okay. I don't
I
want to put
truly believe that.
I personally don't want to put people in jail unless they've been to court
I put
and
his
had due
ass in jail
process.
because he made her do something that she didn't want to do.
Well, let's take them to court because we have a justice system, right?
Well,
And
that's what I'm saying. We
you're
have a justice
innocent.
system, and if you have that much
You're
money, you're going
innocent.
to get away with it.
You're innocent until proven guilty, right?
Well, in some cases,
Just because you have $100 million, that doesn't say you give away your right to have due process, does it?
it doesn't say that, but that's what happens. Point in like the young man who raped a girl on. Oh, sorry, essayed a
Hang on.
girl.
It's got to be grape or essay, not the R
Okay,
word,
great.
sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The young man who raped the young lady on the Stanford campus. The dad and the judge got together. Well, I don't think his life should be ruined about a mistake for like a 20-minute mistake.
Is that the exception
TikTok,
or
that's
rule?
for educational
That's
purpose
not
only.
exceptional. That's not exceptional. That happens every day. I went to high school with a person who did the same thing, and his dad had money, and he's sitting there kicking it today. Didn't do a day in jail,
All right.
and
Okay.
everybody, hey. So it's not exceptional. It's just not talked about.
All right. Lee, what say you, sir?
Yeah, I came up here because of Hugo.
Oh,
Because
do
I
you want to say
don't
something,
know.
Hugo?
Yeah, because he confused me. You really do, Hugo. You confused me.
Hey, Mr.
And
Dow, how you doing?
you you you
Oh,
you
sorry.
talking about like the host was going to degrade you because of the line of work you do. Now it's got nothing to do with it because I don't care what kind of work you do. You just gotta have pride in your work. Do the best you want to do. You come into America, you say if he laying out plain and simple. If you ain't gonna fight for this country, why are you gonna be in this country? And if he said, if Canada come to attack this country, I'm gonna fight for my country. You know, and I don't know who you going for. You telling us that his policy is good, his policy is bad, and I don't know. You're so confusing to me. It's not hard to pick. Fight for this country. You don't. You say you don't even send money home to your family. You just think about yourself. You you just think about yourself.
Thank you, Lee. I appreciate you coming up and saying that. How did you hear about the platform, Lee?
I've been watching you for a while.
Okay, I appreciate that. This your first time coming up on the platform?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Hugo, would you like to respond to what Lee has said?
Yes, I'm gonna make it short because I gotta go to work right now.
Okay.
But I didn't come here to the country to fight or anything. But I came here to work, try to make a living, and try to support my family. And there is a bigger reason, which it's a little bit more personal. But you know what when I say and talk about Mexico, it's because it gives you two different worlds, man. And I just kind of wish we would be able to see the best of each world. I don't necessarily am against Trump. I think he was a great president. There were no wars. The economic system was very well off, and yeah, I mean, on regards that. But when you come on TV and talk about a general population or a specific type of people and call them rapists and all of that, I
Okay,
think
grapist or essay, sir.
my bad, man. But he
Okay.
said it. Whether he said it on TV. He made a whole um, campaign about it. And that just puts a big bias on people who are just
Well,
ignorant. And
can I ask you a question, Hugo? Just before you go, what do you think the top two things that we can take from Mexico that will make this country better? I'm curious because you brought up Mexico a couple times, and you think there's some aspects that we can do better. What would you take from Mexico? I Thanos snapped my finger, and you are in control. What are the two things that you would bring here that would make that, in your opinion, make this country better?
I think that having universal health care that the
Okay.
government is on instead of being privatized and making money off of people would
Okay.
uh, would help.
Okay. Next,
And I mean, that's kind of like one of the main things, man.
is there not a number two?
I I mean, for the top of my head, just that. But if I could say that, maybe be more on the media. It manipulates too much, and because from being from another country, I hear one news, and then I hear a different perspective. The
Is there
government.
free press? Is there free press in Mexico?
Yes, there is a free press.
Okay, all right. It's not state run.
No, it's not state run, but
Okay.
the president.
And do they manipulate the news in Mexico, the free press?
Yes, no, not this time. See, the thing is that there is free press, and just make it quick to finish off. The president of Mexico right now has never been done. The right now president, I believe, he's a good man. He
Okay.
comes on from Monday to Friday, 2 hours live, and tells out how the country is going, and kind of points out the fake media. And no, it's horrible. I can tell when the media is being manipulated, man. I've seen it in Mexico, and I've seen it when they take Twitter, for example. Um, but I mean, Thank you for letting me speak, man.
No problem. No
I like
problem. Don't worry. Over
I like
here,
your
you will
channel.
be allowed to finish your point, and your experience will be respected and not dismissed. Hopefully, you'll become a friend. Go ahead and give me a follow and put your notifications so you know when we're going live, sir.
I'm
Thank you
gonna
so
yeah.
much.
And just to make it clear, I don't hate this man. I love this country, man. And this is the reason why I'm here. But it's just loving the place where you live and the people that surround you. That I have obviously plenty of American friends, and when I was in Mexico, I used to welcome all the American people. I used to work at resorts, man. It's a touristic area. I welcome them with open arms. So I mean, I felt like, I was here to have a little bit of that experience.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Hugo, for coming up. Don't be a stranger. I'd love to see you back over here and bring your perspective and your experience. Let's head and go to my good guy, PK.
Okay.
PK down in Florida. What you say, PK?
Hey, top of the afternoon, guys,
Good to
gals.
see you.
Hey,
Um,
PK.
hey, what's up? I want to ask Lee Jones a question. What's your thoughts on Trump having 5 deferments for not joining the military?
No, I see. I'm riding with Biden, so you know, I don't like the fact that how he talked bad towards the service people in the service when he never been in the service. You
No,
know.
and the only reason I said it because I noticed you had scrutinized Hugo about not wanting to defend the country because his views are he don't fight on wars. I think he made mention of that. Not so much that it's the United States, but just the fact that he's not he's not one of those guys. In fact, you can I forget the terminology you use, but you can not join the service if you have a certain ideology or something to that effect. I forget what it was, but it'll come to me. But no, I was just asking that question because I didn't know what your political views were, but I noticed you had kind of scrutinized him about that, and so I was just wondering whether you had the same sentiments about Donald Trump.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, but I'm sorry.
No, no, I know. I thought you did. You want to respond to PK Lee?
Yeah, I do. I just, I can't blame him for not doing the service. Ali did the same thing because he does what his belief. Why should he go to the and Ali? What? Look what Muhammad Ali got 5 years in prison.
But
Got
yeah,
stripped from his title.
yeah, he was penalized for his beliefs, whereas Donald Trump he was not penalized for.
Well, he did have a medical thing. He said he had bone spurs.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it was proven to be not true though.
Is that true, PK? I'm not. I thought that it was a medical deferment why he was deferred not
Yeah,
going to the military.
yeah. From my understanding, he had someone to doctor up that noticed that he had bone deferments, but actually he didn't.
Okay,
Well, I believe you, PK. I'm not going to disagree with you because I believe that that's what happened. And but you know, that's I can't got no control over that. But oh no, the reason why I was getting Hugo because the host was asking him would he fight for this country if they was coming down the street. I would. I never been in the service. I do like this country, you know, and I'm not just doing it for me. I'm doing it for my neighbor and everybody else.
right.
Hmm.
100%. I agree with you 100%, Lee.
Hey, D.
Hey, Ashley.
Hey,
So
Lee.
hey Ashley, hey so PK, do
Yeah.
you understand where I'm coming from now?
Oh yeah, I do. I do.
Okay.
All right. Kind G. One second, Ashley. Kind G, you want to come up and say something? I'm curious.
I do. I just want to address good morning, everybody. You guys are having a great conversation. I love it. Um,
Did you see it? You made a highlight?
I did. You know what? You know
Yes, ma'am.
what?
Yes, ma'am.
I ain't messing with you.
You're
I
not messing
still,
with me? What I do?
I still
What
say
did
what
I
I
do?
say.
Huh?
I still stand by what I said,
How
and
could
I
you do
saw.
that when it wasn't true?
It was true. What I said is true. You know what? The panel man, they may not know what we talking about, but yeah. I
Okay,
still
well,
stand by
well
what I said though.
all right.
And listen,
Go
other
ahead.
people came up here and mentioned it. They just didn't say it how I said it, but they did mention the situation. Truth or not?
That's not true, but okay.
Yes, it is.
No, all right. Kanji, what you got?
I got something to say. Okay, so I just wanted to address a couple of points. You were talking about the justices. Yes, Trump did put three justices
Is
in
that
place.
was that successful for him?
If the way they look at it, yes, but the way we look at it, no. Why? Because they stole one from Obama. They said that they could not put a justice within what 60 days or whatever they said uh, before an election. But they
I'm just
did.
saying the fact that he was able to put three on the court was that
But
a successful
they
part of his presidency.
Okay, let's say that it was, but they took one from Obama.
I'm
That
not going
would
to
mean
make
they
those
would only have
distinctions. I'm just
two.
saying the fact that he was able to put three on the court, which made the court 6-3 for at least 35 years. I would
Truth.
say that is a successful part of his presidency.
Truth, but it wasn't him, it was Mitch McConnell. I give
Whatever.
Mitch McConnell the credit for that. So yes, it is true.
Okay.
If you're a Republican, yes, that is the honest to
Nobody
God
remembers
truth.
Mitch McConnell. They remember Trump was president when it happened because he
Yeah, but
appoints the justices. That's
if
all.
it wasn't for Mitch, he wouldn't have been able to get three because Mitch blocked Obama's appointment. He did. You know that's the
He was
truth.
successful at blocking then. Okay.
You know
I
what?
mean, whatever you want to say.
We're gonna agree to disagree. Yes, it may have been successful for them, but did they cheat? Yes, they did. The next thing I was gonna mention is some wars because I'm at work, so I'm gonna do this really quick.
Sure.
The young man Hugo said something about wars. Well, first of all, we don't have a war. We don't have boots on the ground. That's Israel and Ukraine and Russia and Israel and Palestine or whatever. We do not have boots on the ground. We're just helping our neighbors. So we're not in a war. Biden didn't start any wars,
We
regardless of
we
what they
do
say.
we do have troops on the ground.
We don't have boots on the ground in Ukraine and in Israel.
No, we have boots on the ground in Ukraine.
No,
No,
we
we
When did we
don't.
don't.
get boots on the ground in
I
Ukraine?
don't know. I
Ukraine?
don't know that we're not actively engaging with. We're probably training. Is that correct, Joshua?
Nope, they're
Yes.
already trained. They're
But we
just
don't
here.
Right.
have boots on
But
the ground to
we're
fight.
not actively engaging with the Russians in warfare. Is that correct?
Yes.
No, we
Right.
That's
haven't. We
correct.
haven't. We haven't
Yeah,
encountered.
boots on the ground, but they're training.
Denali
Yes.
is
Hey, hey, can I ask a quick question? Can I ask a quick
No, not
question?
right
Can I
now.
finish?
You
Because
gotta
I'm at
wait your
work.
turn.
Oh,
I'm so
Everybody,
sorry.
everybody,
I'm so
calm down.
sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
so
Hey,
sorry, guys.
I think
My next
Kanji.
everybody. Whoa, there are boots on the ground in the aspect that they are training. They are
but not
training. They're
not
not
in war.
engaged in war as far as that's going. And we probably do have some boots on the ground in Syria, I believe. But I know for sure that we are boots on the ground as far as training in
But we
Ukraine.
don't have boots
so
on the ground as far as us doing in war, is what I was
Correct.
trying to
I
say.
think that's
Okay.
Hey,
correct.
hey,
Denali,
host.
Yeah, let me
I
finish
want.
my last
Wait,
point if you
we
don't
got.
mind.
Okay, I
Whoa,
will.
guys! You know how
Let me
we
just
do
finish
things
my
over here. We gotta let Kanji finish her point. We can't talk over her.
let me just
I
finish
want
one
to
and then you
agree
guys
with
can
her.
talk.
I got you, but we gotta let her finish. So let her finish because she's at work and she's got to go in a second. Go ahead.
My next point is that Hugo, I believe, is the person that was talking and saying something.
Yes.
But Trump also said that Mexicans come in and they're poisoning the blood of America. That's like just crazy that he would say that they're poisoning the blood. That's just wrong. So
Sure.
there's so.
And I
I'm
said
sorry.
sure. I said sure.
Yeah, that's just. Do you think that's wrong?
Are you talking to me personally?
I am.
Yes, of course that's wrong.
You don't, okay? So that's all. That's my 3 points. I was listening to you guys. That was my 3 points. Please, I'm gonna listen if you don't mind, Denali. I want to hear their response. Please go ahead.
Yes,
Kanji.
I
so let
think
me
Lee had something, and then
let
we'll
me
go to
I
respond.
do
PK.
agree with you. That was a double standard because when Obama tried to do it and they blocked him because of the 60 days, he can't do it just before the election. So that was a double standard.
Right.
So I agree 100% with you on that one, Kanji.
All right. Fantastic. PK.
Yes, I was gonna say initially in 2014 when we facilitated Ukraine with weaponry, we had boots on the ground for training purposes. That no longer exists. Now you have Americans over there, but they're retired. They're willing to put forth whatever efforts they need to try to assist, but they're not boots on the ground. They're totally volunteering to do this on their own. So at this point, we no longer have boots on the ground.
All right. Let's
Um,
Roland.
can I ask a question?
What
Yes,
what
please. How you doing,
what's
brother?
your question, Roland? What's your question, sir?
My question is to King G. In America, right? I'm in America. So in America, if I give you a gun, loaded
Use
gun,
the word pew
and you
pew.
shoot somebody,
Pew pew. Second
a
Amendment,
person,
but don't use that
you said
word,
pew
okay?
pew.
Pew pew,
Okay,
or you can
second.
say
You use the
Second
okay.
Amendment.
Pew pew. Oh yeah. Okay, pew pew. Am I part of it or I'm not part of it? When you get arrested, am I going to be part of the charges?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Hello.
I'm not sure if I understand the
Yeah.
question, Roland. What are you
What I'm trying
asking?
to say is, if I give you a gun, right, a loaded gun,
Pew pew,
and you
sir.
commit a
Pew
crime,
pew.
am I going to be charged with a okay, pew pew? Am I going to be charged with a crime too?
If you give somebody a pew pew, will you be charged?
Yeah. Yes. And he committed a crime. Am I going to be charged too?
Is it a legal or illegal pew pew?
Like anything,
I'm not really understanding the question. Does anybody else understand the question?
anything I
Yes,
know,
yes.
is
If you
Understand the
if
question,
you
but I
give
understand what
someone
he's trying to say.
if you
Okay,
give
Joshua, go ahead and explain it to us. What are you trying to say?
He's just trying to say that we're in war by proxy. And when I
Oh,
said boots on the ground, I understood that they're
I
in
don't think
training.
anybody's disputing that. If we're giving Ukraine weapons, and just like the Iranians are giving the Houthis weapons, it's a war by proxy.
Yeah, so I
uh
think what
huh,
he's trying to say that we're going to be held
uh huh.
accountable if the Ukrainians were to be
Thank
unsuccessful
you,
in the defense against Russia.
But the thing is, if you want to use that premise, then we had to
thank you.
say there was a war when Donald Trump was president because we were still issuing weapons to Ukraine when Trump was president. So the war never ended in essence since 2014.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not saying the idea under Trump either.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, Roland. I'm going to give my good friend Ashley some time. Ashley, what did you want to say to you? You've been waiting patiently.
How y'all doing this morning?
You're doing good. But we need to let's make it really concise. Okay, Ashley?
I got you. But when Hugo came up and he said that he would not fight for this country, but he loves this country, but he wouldn't pick up a weapon or any kind of weapon to defend the country, then to me that means that then you really don't love this country and you wouldn't defend this country standing 10 toes down. That means that you really don't care about your own lives or your family's lives or your friends' lives, for one. And for two, um, when Trump said that the migrants come over here from Mexico are rapists,
Okay, Ashley,
I
you
mean
know we
grapists,
were
I
going
mean grapists, sorry,
to use
who
essay.
are who are grapists and schmurdos. But he still supports Trump. To me, to him, since he is from Mexico, he's overlooking himself as a Mexican, and he's not including himself with those Mexicans that Trump talks about, knowing Trump talks about him too.
Got
You
it.
see, you see what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying. That's why I went down that line of questioning with Hugo, and I hope that Hugo does come back and continues to be a
I do
fan
too. I do
and comes
too.
back and is able to talk about some other experiences. What's up, Sean? And going on here in the country. I want to go to my main man, Birdie Dog, who is a subscriber. He's a big friend, good supporter of the channel. Birdie Dog, what say you, sir?
You can talk to the guys that were in here before me
Okay,
first.
all right.
I'll come in later.
Okay, great. All right, Joshua,
Hey, what's up, man? First
what's
off,
going on, bro?
I liked. Hold on, sweetie. Hold on, sweetie. Okay, okay. Just want to say I want to apologize for interrupting whoever was talking last time, but I really enjoy how you're conducting your live.
Thank you.
I'm not really sure what the last thing you guys were talking about. I did hear a little bit of what Hugo happened to say while he was on.
Yeah.
I think the problem that people are having with what Hugo said is that he believes that he can have dual citizenship. That's not really something that I believe in. When it comes down to it, you're going to have to pick a side. It's either going to be Mexico or it's going to be America. If you're not willing to fight where you live at, you need to be able to go where you're willing to fight where you live at. The part that poisoning the blood, excuse me, it sounds bad. I agree with you. It sounds bad. But I understood what he was trying to say. If the majority of the people that were coming through the border could do it legally, then I believe that they would. The reason why they're trying to get in illegally is because they know that it's easier and they wouldn't have to face any ramifications through the legal process of them coming in because they could potentially be a criminal or something could prohibit them from coming in. So they come in illegally as opposed to legally. That's why it is a benefit for Americans to know who's coming across the border because we don't want to accept people who will bring the quality of life in America down. We want to bring in people that will bring in the quality of life in America up. So it's nothing against Hugo being Mexican. There are plenty of things that are great about every single culture. But if Mexico was thriving as good as America, then
He
people
wouldn't
would
be
be
here.
good over there.
He wouldn't be here. That was my
Exactly.
point.
Exactly. And the Hugo's here for a reason, is what I'm saying.
Right.
The idea of universal health care is a beautiful thing. It's a paradise that doesn't exist. The reality of it doesn't stand up to par. I had one more point I was gonna make. I can't remember it right now. But yeah, I'll let somebody else go.
How did you hear about the platform, Joshua?
I was just scrolling and I was listening to you. Um, I just really liked how you heard out everyone's point. It takes a lot of patience to do that, so I appreciate that. I saw the picture of Trump on the banner. I didn't really know what your position was.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I still don't really know what your
Right.
position
Okay.
is.
I
So,
like that. That's cool because I want to, listen, I push back on everybody. And, we are building the most inclusive space here on TikTok where everybody has an opportunity to speak. And if I hear something, I will interrupt and ask a question, but you will be allowed to finish your point. But I got to get something out. Something I may hear makes me ask a particular question. And that's how Hugo and I had the little verbal joust. But Hugo is welcome here anytime that he would like to come. I want to go ahead and go to, is that Joshua with the beard? Is that you, sir?
It's jamming.
No.
Oh no,
Oh,
it's
I'm sorry.
jamming.
Not another Jay. Let me get my glasses, man. I tell you. Jamming. Oh, my goodness.
Lou is
Jamming with the
fine. Lou
beard.
is
What's up,
fine, Mr.
brother?
Denali.
How you
Thank you
doing,
for letting
sir?
me up. Doing well. I hope everybody had a blessed past Easter weekend or whatever
Absolutely.
celebration you
Thank you
guys
for saying
celebrate.
that.
And I come in here, man, because it's a chill vibe. But
Oh,
I
thank
saw
you.
your pic, and one of my followers sent it to my main account.
Okay.
And just listening to Hugo and some of the things that have been said here in regards to Hugo, which I can
Hmm.
relate. I live in Texas, not too far from the southern border. Um, and there's something that I wish more people would understand. If you don't live by the southern border, then you don't understand what Trump actually said was right. You don't. We have some people, and I get it, okay, because I voted twice for Obama. I believed in his hope and change. I was a Democrat up until I was 35. All right, but I'm gonna keep it a buck here. When you got cartels doing what they're doing, and you got the government of Mexico, you got the government of Honduras, Panama, Chile, Venezuela, Cuba, okay, Honduras. The sad part is these countries don't live like we do here. They're no longer a country of laws enforced. They have laws, they just don't enforce them because of the corruption. And we're starting to see that play out here in America in regards to catch and release to our own citizens who do a lot of thievery and robbery and so on and so forth. But
So is your
these
number one issue the
countries are
border?
is my number one issue the border?
Yes, sir.
Honestly, yeah, it's right up there with our economy. I would
So,
say
so you
securing our
like? Did you
southern
like what?
borders.
Did you like what Obama was doing?
Yeah, I voted for Obama. I mean,
Okay,
he
great.
had the
Okay,
highest deportation numbers
yeah,
ever.
he was deporter in chief, and you like what Trump was doing with the border.
Yeah, I like what Trump was doing, and especially in regards to remain in Mexico, so on and so forth. And here's part of the problem, Mr. Denali. I don't have a problem, and most Republicans that I know, they don't have a problem with people coming here looking for a better future. All we ask is you do it legally, because if we got to follow the law, then so should you. I mean,
So
you
how
don't
do
get
you
no special treatment.
how do you feel with the border bill that was bipartisan, that was worked on with Biden's people, the Democrats and the Republicans, and they didn't bring it up for a vote because by all reports, left, right, and center, Trump asked Johnson, the Speaker of the House, not to bring it up because he didn't want to let Biden get a win. He wanted to run on the border. How do you feel
Okay.
about that with Republicans?
Look, here's the thing I don't like about none of it. I don't like that our politicians use our people as pawns. I don't like that they have an scapegoat for everything. And it's always Trump. It is always Trump the scapegoat. In the end, I don't blame people for not voting for that, especially whenever you have funding going to another country so they can secure their border, which actually that amount ended up being a whole lot more that was going to protect our own southern border. Like, where does this make sense? In the logical standard of things, where does it make sense? If we're going to come up with a bill, that just standalone bill, come up with it for our border, like the one that's
Well,
been sitting in the Senate since
they
last
did what
April.
they took out the Ukraine funding, made it a standalone bill, and they still didn't bring it up for a vote. And by all reports, left, right, and center, Trump asked Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, not to bring it up for a vote because he didn't want to give Biden a win. He wants to run on the border.
No, Trump doesn't have a problem with more border funding.
No, I'm
He
saying,
doesn't have
why
a
do you
problem
think
with
they
that.
didn't let the bill come up to a vote that would have given 150 more judges to get rid of the backlog of asylum, more border agents, things that Republicans want? Why did they play politics with that issue and not let it come up for a vote?
I think you missed when I said that our politicians, both left and right, do this all the time, and we are used as pawns. They
Okay,
fight one another on TV, but break bread behind closed doors.
I get
And then
that.
the finger pointing happens. If they wanted to pass a bill at our southern border, Mr. Denali, look
Mhm.
at how quickly they came collectively to ban TikTok.
Right. True. So who are you voting for?
I'm gonna vote for Donald J. Trump.
Okay. So you don't put the blame that the border bill is not being put up for a vote at the Republicans' feet.
No, I don't. Because see, at the end of the day, you had the uniter in chief, self-proclaimed, as Joe Biden said he was going to do all these things, and he hasn't. As a matter of fact, we are more divided, and the more lives that have Donald J. Trump as a background from people that don't like Donald J. Trump, I got to keep it a buck, man. You guys are his biggest billboard. You guys are giving him more publicity than anybody else has, than he can give himself. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine being Donald Trump and being hated by now, what is it, 40% of the country? And most of those 40% of the people still have lives about him?
And when you say you, who are you speaking of?
I'm just talking about
In
creators
general.
who are live, who are hosting lives with his picture in the background.
Okay, got it. Okay, all right. I don't. Okay, I don't know if that was a shot at me.
No, sir, no, sir.
Oh, okay. I don't
I'm
know.
just
I mean, I
no,
don't
no, no,
mind
no.
shots.
You
I just
asked
want
me.
to make sure where
No,
they
no,
were
no,
at.
no. No,
My man
I'll be
jamming.
respectful. No,
No,
I
no.
got you, Mr. Denali.
Listen, if you disagree with me, that's fine. What part of the country are you in?
I'm in West Texas,
You
not
in
too
West
far from
Texas?
El
Okay.
Paso.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Okay. Cool.
Can I ask Jim a few
Joshua, you
questions?
want to say something real quick? I saw you had your finger up.
Yeah, he touched on some great things. I mean, the bottom line is that the two-party system does not have our best interest at hand. That's why so many people appeal to Donald Trump, because he appears to be outside of the system. If he exposes himself to be a part of the system, then our opinions should change with that evidence. But it's that the decisions that both parties make inside of Congress is not on the best part for the citizen.
Right. Okay. All right. Great.
Can I have a response to both of those guys?
Go ahead quickly, PJ. I mean PK. Then we're gonna go to Roland, and then my good friend DeLuca is back. I want to give him an
Okay.
opportunity.
Okay, quickly, I'm going to always be under the opinion that we have a three-party system because we have the independent party. However, they're not strong enough to be
Yeah,
prominent.
they really just they really help one or the other depending on
Right, right. They
how they
have
run down
right,
the issues.
but because of they're not prominent, so a Green Party being instituted, so on and so forth, it'll be the same as an independent party. It's going to take years for it to grow legs and be able to be prominent, whereas they can compete with Democrats and Republicans. That's number one. Number two, I have a question for Jamin. What are the what are the illegal means an immigrant can come into this country in your mind?
In my opinion, in my mind, in my
Yeah.
opinion, okay,
Hmm.
the only illegal immigrants that we have in this country are the gotaways. That's the only illegal immigrant we have in this country, in my mind. And that's coming from my family and friends that happen to work for the Border Patrol, who are CBP agents, okay? And
Right.
that's just because some people think, okay, on the right and on the left, some people have this vision that just because they come through a non-port of entry, they're illegal. No, if you've noticed, I've never seen a guy rob a bank or do something like that and then go straight to the police station. That's what these individuals are coming. They're coming through a non-port of entry. They scale the border wall, because I've seen it here in El Paso, and they
Yeah.
turn themselves in to a border patrol agent who then takes them to a port of entry for processing. They have a parole status after being documented and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, 90 to 93% of them don't succeed in their quest, and they have to get
Exactly.
sent back. But I'm not one of them people on the right that are claiming everybody's an illegal immigrant. I know the difference between them.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I've seen you in some lives before, and you're pretty knowledgeable. But I was asking a rhetorical question because I pretty much knew you knew the answer. But the fact is, information is powerful, and people need to understand the distinction. And the only other
Hey,
thing
hey,
is,
host, I can't hear PK because of I think somebody's background noise is really bad. My
okay,
bad,
right?
PK. I couldn't hear anything you said, bro. Oh, I think it's
Everybody's mute
Ryan.
up except for PK.
Oh, sorry.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
okay.
PK.
No, I was saying, yeah, I was asking a rhetorical question because I knew you knew the answer. I've seen you on lives before, and also we have opposing views in terms of our politics. But you're very knowledgeable about politics, and I respect your viewpoints about matters. And the other thing is the only other illegal immigrant I would say would be those who go beyond their visas when once they expire and they don't present to either get them extended or
Yes, sir.
be sent back. That's the only other aspect of illegal immigrant there is to me.
All
Very
right.
true. And Mr. Denali, can I just say this, guys? None of y'all
Absolutely.
are my opposition. None of y'all are my enemy. I know that y'all don't come up with legislation that screws all of us collectively. Y'all just have different viewpoints that I have different viewpoints. We have different stances, but I don't look at y'all as opposition or my enemy. You know what I mean? Because when I served this country, it wasn't for white, black, or brown people specifically. It wasn't for gay, straight, or any other. It wasn't for anybody else's specific religion. It was for everybody. All right. So sometimes I know we have more in common than we do in difference, but we always somehow manage to talk about the shit we have in difference before we do, and it's kind of
Right.
crazy. But yeah, if there's
Thank you so
anything
much,
else, let me
Damon. I
know.
appreciate that. Everybody continue to tap the screen. Let's see if we can get over 22.5K likes so we can continue to get good people like Jamin and Joshua over here, Ryan, people can discover the platform because we need the reason to discover the platform because we're tapping the screen, pushing out to the For You page. So thank you for doing that. Also, I need 4 more teddy bears. Can somebody get up there and smash that goal for me? That'd be fantastic. My good friend DeLuca, welcome back, sir. How are you?
Good, Mr. Denali. How are you?
Doing well, buddy. Good to hear from you again. Don't be a
Likewise.
stranger.
Likewise.
What's going on?
I've just I've been listening to the conversation here, and there's several things. The majority of Americans, we're busy going to work, we're busy paying our bills, raising our families, doing whatever we got to do to make ends meet. And
Right.
so when we look at these issues, we just most of us read headlines, and we consider that to be the gospel. Unfortunately, when you look into things such as there's your bear.
All right. We knocked out that live goal. Appreciate it. Continue, DeLuca.
Thank you. When you look into the bill, the border bill that pretty much died in Congress, that was a bad bill, and unfortunately, what it was politics in the worst way. Democrats knew darn well that this bill did not have a chance, not yesterday, not today, not even in the future. It's simply a bad bill. For example, it was all negotiated behind closed doors. No members of the House, Congress were present. Mitch McConnell was the one negotiating. And we all know how Mitch McConnell, you can debate whether or not he is the epitome of a politician. And you can debate at times whose side he's on. It was presented to Senate at the 11th hour. They hardly had any time to review it, and then once they did, it exposed a lot of loopholes. Basically, what it did was it codified Biden's current border policy. That's what it did. It allowed all these loopholes. Now, the sad thing is that for the longest time, I would watch the news, and I think I told you this, Mr. Denali. You hear one news station report it this way and another station report it that way. So last August, I said, you know what? I'm going to see for myself. I flew down to San Antonio, Texas, drove down to Eagle Pass, and let me tell you, man, I was shocked. What you see on TV is conservative. What you see in person, it is third world. It's heart-wrenching. You can clearly see women and children who have been exploited. You can see it in their face, their eyes. These people, and what's so bizarre is that how can you allow this, that, the Democrat Party is supposed to be the party of compassion, love, caring, kind, all this stuff. But it is clear when you see on the ground wristbands. I mean, they're everywhere. Then I asked one of the police officers there, border police officers, what are these bands for? And basically what they are, it says how much money they're in debt to the cartel for, to the coyote to. And they rip them off as soon as they cross. But as soon as they cross, that coyote videotapes them to prove that, hey, we got them across. And if you don't pay us, guess what? Your family down where they're at right now, they're going to pay for it.
Right.
I mean, that's wrong. But getting back to this bill, what it did was it funded Gaza. And we all know that if money gets sent to Gaza, Hamas is going to be in control over it.
I thought that they when I read they took it was a standalone bill.
That's after Johnson said that this bill was dead on arrival. Then they started saying, okay, we'll do this, we'll do that. But they had already made it clear that bill was dead on arrival. Look, this is Biden's fault.
So we don't believe the reports about Trump. We don't believe the reports about Trump, left, right, and center, that he asked them not to fuck it up.
Mr. Denali, with all due respect, and Mr. DeLuca, I think both of y'all are talking about two different bills, sir. Mr. Denali, you're talking about HR2. HR2 was a standalone bill, but that was
Right.
come up with the Republicans. That's been in the Senate, and Schumer hasn't messed with it at all
Right.
since last April. Okay, but the bill that you're talking about, DeLuca, is the one where it's the bipartisan, but yet it did have all that pork going to
Yeah,
everywhere else.
But a
and that's just it. I
Republican
mean,
wrote
Didn't
the
they
it,
take the
bill.
pork out of that bill and make it a standalone bill? Am I wrong about that?
what
Yeah,
and
you
also
were.
it funded
You're
the
correct. They had a
Ukraine.
standalone bill.
Right. That's what
You're
I'm saying.
correct.
They took the stuff out because they said it's dead on arrival because it had all stuff for foreign aid. They took it out, and then the reports are left, right, and center that Trump spoke to Johnson, told him don't pass it because he wants to run on it. He did not want to give Biden a win.
No, Denali.
Am I
Correct.
wrong
The
about that?
funding
No,
was
no,
part of
no,
the
You
no,
are
issue.
correct.
Oh, something is
The,
wrong.
let me
You are
finish, please.
correct.
Let me
no.
finish,
That's not.
please.
That's not right.
The
But I'm just
funding was
saying
part.
he's correct.
The
Okay, thank
funding
you,
was
Lee.
part of the
No.
issue. The other issue was that it had no border security metrics to measure. It didn't do anything.
It added more border patrol.
It
What are you talking
basically
about?
it basically codified Biden's
It
existing
did not.
policy.
No, no,
It
It
no,
did
wait,
did.
not.
hang. Whoa! The bill gave 150 more judges. The bill put more border agents on there with the not only boots on the ground, so to speak, with the border, but also advanced technology to prevent more border crossings.
You're right,
From what I
Denali.
read, hang
Correct.
on, let me
100%,
finish. Let me
Delali.
finish. Let me finish. I read that it gave the Republicans almost 70% of what they always wanted. Am I wrong about that?
It still
You're
allowed
wrong
for
because it was
people.
90%.
Okay,
It still.
Lee says 90%.
I
And
don't know
Mr.
about that.
Denali, Mr. Denali, I think part of the problem, this is just something that I heard why the Republicans denied it, was because it still allowed for the 5,000 people a week.
I got that, but
Okay,
there
I
are
think
no
I think that was one
perfect.
of the
5,000
main reasons.
Hang on,
Well,
there's
5,000
no, but
encounters.
listen, there's no perfection because you got 500 people trying to come up to a consensus. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
Denali, it also this was a big stumbling block for the Republicans. Okay, what this bill did was it took the power out of Texas. It disallowed for the state of Texas to do anything. So if someone came to America and was seeking asylum, that would have gotten litigated in Washington D.C. Now we all know what happens in Washington D.C.
Wait.
Shouldn't a state?
What are you
Shouldn't
even
a
talking
state?
about?
Wait.
Listen,
Like
this is what I want to know.
this is
Stop,
such
everybody talking for.
misinformation.
No,
Everybody,
it's
I
stop
don't
not.
even know
talking
where
for a
to start.
second.
It
Whoa,
gave.
DeLuca, do you believe the reports that Trump asked Johnson not to bring the bill up for a vote? Yes or no?
Yes, because it was a
You
bad
believe
bill.
that?
Yes, because it was a bad bill.
No.
I mean, I got a list of reasons why it was bad, and I keep getting shut off because people say it's misinformation when it's not. It's actual factual.
Well, you said that the bill didn't have border security in it. That's not true.
That's not what I said. I said it still
Oh,
allowed the
That's
same amount of
exactly
number
what
of
you
people to
said.
come through.
I mean, DeLuca. I mean, you listen, bro. I heard you. Listen. I'm gonna tell everybody. I used to be in corporate sales, so I'm trained to listen. I hear very well. I know Kanji doesn't.
No, I
Uh,
said no border security metrics. Metrics, no way to
What the
measure.
fuck does that
measure.
mean?
There's
Hey, but
no way to
y'all gotta
measure.
let Mr. DeLuca, you gotta let Mr. Denali finish what he was trying to say. And
Thank
that's
you,
part of the
Jim. My
problem we
man,
have.
Jim, and I appreciate you
That's part of
saying
the
that.
problem we have on social media, man, with so many boxes. It's like the middle of your sentence gets interrupted by the beginning of somebody else's. And then it goes off in a different direction. We never have no solution to the problem or the problem we were actually facing or talking about.
That's right, because over here, Mr. Denali XXL, we will get solutions done. Thank you. But no, on the serious side, I thought you said you're saying there's no border metrics. So
Exactly.
hang on. Explain what that means when you say it so I can have a better understanding of where you're at, DeLuca.
The metrics meaning that there's no way to measure really who's coming in, how they're coming in.
Well, how did they say about the 5,000 if there's no way to measure?
The 5,000, the 5,000 was left up to one person
I know, but hang on. You just said there's no border metrics. So how can you say, well, they're letting 5,000 in if there's no border metrics to understand who's coming across the border?
because it didn't account for the gotaways.
The what? Oh,
The gotaways.
Come on,
Nothing
DeLuca.
accounts for the
I'm smelling
gotaways.
a pretzel,
No,
DeLuca. I'm
no,
smelling
no.
a pretzel being baked.
Oh,
Come
come
on
on
now,
now.
bro.
No, there was
Come
no.
on.
It did
In
not
the
address the
comments, do you
gotaway.
think that DeLuca is about to get put into the oven with either? I got a new flavor. I got ranch now. Ranch, salt, everything,
I'm more of
or
a
yellow
cheddar cheese
mustard.
kind of guy.
You're
I
what
want,
kind of
I
guy?
want all three.
You got any cheddar?
I don't know. I think DeLuca, you kind of bending yourself into a pretzel. It's not finished yet, but it's getting there, sir. It's
Oh,
getting
come
there.
on.
Let me hang on a second. Let Birdie Dog get in here. One second, Josh. I'm gonna get you in a second. Birdie Dog, go ahead and get in here. I know you're chomping at the bit.
I mean, I'm with Lee. Like the bill I mean, the bill was basically written by Republicans. They say like, I mean, Democrats basically said, "What do you want?"
Right.
And they gave them a list of what they want. They gave it to them.
Right.
You know, they didn't. Then the excuse when it went to the House was, "Oh, it has Ukraine funding in it." So then they voted on the Ukraine funding anyway, which the Republicans in the Senate were against. They wanted it back in the bill. So they just want to run on the border. They don't want to fix it.
Right.
All the stuff you're talking about has been going on for decades.
Sure.
The cartels, the things at the border, decades it's been going on. Why haven't Republicans fixed it?
Mr. Denali, can I respond to that?
Trump was in office for 4 years. Why didn't he fix it?
Okay. Listen, everybody. We got over 200 people in the room. We should be well over 28,000 K likes. Please tap the screen. That's the only way this gets pushed out to the For You page. We need people to tap the screen. I know you're enjoying this conversation, but we also got to get it pushed out. So please tap the screen. Tap. Let's do a quick power tap, and we can get over 30,000 K likes very, very easily. We need your help to get this pushed out to the For You page. DeLuca, you can go ahead and go back with Birdie Dog.
Host, you got anybody in the queue? Because I could drop if you got people in the queue.
We do have, let's see.
I could drop too.
You can stay if you want. It's up to you guys. But DeLuca and Birdie Dog. So DeLuca, go ahead and respond, sir.
I mean,
Thanks for having me
if
on.
I could just finish, I mean, at least Biden offered a bill. It's more than Trump did.
Look, Joe Biden inherited the lowest rate of immigration in 45 years.
COVID.
No, in 45
What do you
years.
mean? It was because of COVID.
Birdie.
Birdie. You got to let him finish his point.
Hey, do y'all realize who you got in here right now? Who you're talking to? My man Jammin. I've been listening to this guy for years.
Sean, you know I love you, Sean. You know how we do things. Sean,
I had to just throw him some props real quick, man. This man's famous right here, man.
I appreciate Jammin joining the platform. Glad he blessed us with his little sunshine. Fantastic. But
I'm done now.
All right, I appreciate you, Sean.
So getting back to what I was finishing saying here.
Yeah.
Biden inherited the lowest rate of immigration in 45 years. And within 9 days of being president of the United States, he blew it up. And he blew it up by doing 3 very simple things. And by the way, he can fix it. He halted the building of finishing the wall. And by the way, all that money that was spent on material, he sold it for pennies on the dollar. So taxpayers lost there too. Look it up.
Okay, he didn't do that.
Where's that information at? Where'd you get that from?
He actually funded building the rest of more of the wall of what was left.
The material was sold pennies on the dollar.
You're coming from COVID.
Number 2, he reinstated catch and release. Number 3, he pulled out of the agreement that we had with Mexico that was negotiated to stay in place.
Supreme Court.
No, Biden ripped it up.
What are you talking about? It was the Supreme Court.
No, it wasn't.
Overturned it. It said it was unconstitutional.
That the stay in place was
a temporary stay. It was temporary.
I want to see. Please pull it up. Show me, because I don't believe that.
Like, I'm not going to do your homework for you.
You don't have to. you know, I can say stuff that's not factual too, but I don't do that.
That's all you've been doing since you've been in here.
You know, and something else that this bill did, that would have done, I should say, that it would have gave, what was I? I've just lost my train of thought. Oh, it would have gave future presidents, it would have undermined their ability to secure the border even more or change things at all. It would have codified everything.
The Republicans will never see a border wet dream of a bill like this for the rest of time.
That's right.
This is everything they wanted. That now, if Trump thinks that he's going to get this when he's getting, if he gets in office, he's not. They had a chance to get everything they wanted, and they did, because their orange daddy said no because he wanted the credit.
Right.
This is what
Mr.
happened.
Denali,
Like it's
He can
common
do an
sense.
executive order.
but
Well,
Mr.
all I'm
Denali, this
saying is
the
that okay. They all reports, left, right, center. I don't know how many times I can say that Trump asked Mike Johnson not to put the bill up for a vote because he didn't want Biden to get a win. There are
That's
even
right.
some reports that I read that said that Biden did this on purpose because he knew they were not going to put the bill up for a vote to make them look bad. Has anybody read
Has
those
that
reports?
No.
has anybody actually heard him say that, or
Heard
seen
who
a
say that?
video, phone call, anything? Heard
Who?
Trump say that?
Listen.
no, it's
I have
hearsay.
seen left,
Exactly.
I've seen right, and I've seen middle say it.
Who?
But the thing is that the question is did anybody on tape have Trump saying that?
No, I don't have
Because it's
no.
going off of a
I'm working
phone
on it
call.
though. I'm
Like,
working on it, getting that tape.
I mean, but the thing is, Mr. Denali,
Listen, he
like,
takes
if it
credit
was
for it.
out there, it was. Oh my
He said
gosh.
if
He
the border
sure
bill,
does.
no, I'm just telling you. If
I
I'm
know,
answering
Birdie,
your question. This is
Birdie.
I
We
just I
gotta,
want to
we gotta not. We'll talk over.
right,
Jamie
but I
was
want
making
to
a point.
but I
I
want to
know.
clarify a point, right?
Okay, what? Go ahead. Clarify what you want to clarify. Go ahead.
So Trump's quote, if the border bill gets killed, it's because of me. That's his quote.
He said, "You can blame me."
Right.
Yeah, he
That's
also said that
right.
in 2014. He also said that in 2014 when he was sitting down with Senator Schumer and Nancy Pelosi whenever they were holding all this funding to go to the American people hostage. Trump said, "Put that on me. I'll take the heat." And then you got them fighting. But just like you
That's
said
about
earlier,
something
Birdie,
completely different.
Birdie, I'm not done.
He's
You
not
have
in
you
office.
have
He's not president.
the mere fact that you can't show self-control just lets me know you're too emotional to have this conversation. Okay. In the end, Mr. Denali, here's part of the problem. Mr. Birdie said himself earlier that this has been happening for decades. It's been happening for decades. You know who wasn't in office for decades? Trump. Trump wasn't in office for decades. He was in office for 4 years, but magically everything happens to be his fault rather than the politicians who have been in office for decades. 4 decades. That's why nobody takes these conversations seriously unless you really want to get down to the problem and have a solution to the problem. Is you got to understand none of us up here are calling the shots. It's them fighting on camera, then turn around, they break bread behind closed doors, and they make fun of us, and we're paying for it. So
Okay.
when are we going to sidestep the bullshit, if you will? And start realizing we need to hold these corrupt politicians accountable who are playing and manipulating the American people, because it happened to me when I was a Democrat. It's happened to me when I'm a Republican. In the end, when are we going to be able to come together on this bullshit?
Okay, so what's your solution? I hear a lot of finger pointing and saying Biden, 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 when Trump was just in for 4 years. But what's your solution for the border?
Before you answer that, Jammin, DeLuca, what are you showing up on your camera, sir? What is that?
Birdie made a claim that the Supreme Court ruled to stay in place as unconstitutional.
All right,
That's not true.
I'm going to put you in the big screen. We're going to let Birdie Dog read what you're putting up there. PolitiFact. Can you read that, Birdie Dog?
The very first one. Read that.
Why don't you read it for us, DeLuca?
Sure. The Supreme Court ruled that the Biden administration could end a Trump-era program called Remain in Mexico that sent some migrants seeking asylum back to Mexico and await their migration court proceedings. Biden wanted to end it. And the Republicans said that's unconstitutional, it's law, you can't. So they took it to the Supreme Court. It wasn't that it was unconstitutional. Biden created this problem. Now the Democrats want to point the finger at the Republicans and say they're the cause of it.
I think that's a little. I don't know. How could you say that Biden created a problem if we're having this problem forever?
Okay, so they got
problem we have
sued.
right now is because of Joe Biden.
So the administration got sued for Remain in America, right? Because it's basically goes against the Geneva Convention.
No.
What do you mean no? Yes, it does.
Hey, Denali, how about that pretzel?
Literally everything you say is wrong. So, like,
how about the pretzel, Denali?
Like, dude,
Bernie's twisting
they got sued for something that was going to be deemed unconstitutional.
With my pretzel?
Dude, are you going to make?
Listen, let's. Bernie, dog, go ahead. 25 seconds. Go ahead.
They got sued for Remain in America, right? Or Remain in Mexico, right?
Oh,
so they did not contest being sued. They dropped it, right? Because they knew if it went to the Supreme Court, it would be deemed unconstitutional, just like the razor wire, because it's against the Geneva Convention.
Okay, I'm going to read this again. The Supreme Court ruled, so it went to the Supreme Court, number one.
They weren't asked to vote on the constitutionality.
Birdie, just stop, man. You're getting rolled right now.
Hey, Mr. Denali, you know how Mr. Birdie just said it's the Geneva Convention to not have concertina wire? It's concertina wire, just to be clear. Okay, it's not razor wire. Okay, that fear-mongering tactic. Okay, it's not razor wire. It's not against the Geneva Convention either, because if it was, it wouldn't be around our prisons. It's good enough for Americans, but non-Americans, it's not good enough for. It's good enough for our ports of entry to have, because if you just said what you said, Bertie, then that lets me know you've never been to a port of entry, because they're all up and down. Concertina wire is all up and down our ports of entry, Mr. Birdie. They're Bertie, all around our prisons.
Bertie, have you been to the border, Bertie?
No.
Okay. All right. Jammin, you been to the border? Could you?
Yes. Which one do you want? Yeah. What port of entry do you want me to talk about? Del Rio, Eagle Pass, El Paso, Nogales, San Diego. What? Which one?
He's flexing.
I feel bad for Birdie Dog right now. He sounds kind of sad.
All right. So what fact is against me, right? So
is it against the Geneva Convention? My bad. I thought you were
so Trump had a chance to do something. They gave him a bill to pass. They gave him everything they wanted. They didn't pass it. Which side is playing football now?
Hey, Bertie, you ever buy a new car?
Dude, go fuck yourself.
Seriously.
Like, seriously?
Come on, Bertie.
Would you when you financed your new car, would you pay 40% interest, or would you pay 15% interest, or maybe 7% interest?
I don't get
this bill was 40. This bill.
Caroline says Biden opened our border up. That's what Caroline said. Hey, listen, Kanji, get in here for a second. Kanji, what do you have to say? Hang on, everybody. Let's let Kanji say something. She's been waiting patiently. She has not interrupted. I think Kanji is the only woman on the platform right now, and she has not interrupted one time, and she has asked twice to say something in the comments. So I want everybody to get on mute, and let's hear what Miss Kanji has to say. Miss Kanji, she's on a call. She's not. Are you able to come in, Kanji?
I still haven't heard one solution.
Well, Mr. Birdie.
Oh, go ahead, Jamie, because you got the solutions. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm gonna wait.
So Mr. Birdie was saying about the concertina wire. Ain't it weird that Joe Biden has that on a fence that's going around the White House?
It's not used as border.
It's not against the Geneva Convention then? See, it's the what's good for me is not good for thee kind of thing. You know what I mean? And that whole thing that I said about you being too emotional for this conversation.
Were they not?
Your other comment proved my point.
Were they not ordered to by the Supreme Court that they were allowed to cut the wire down?
We've been waiting on them down here in Texas. for them to come and do
Did they
that.
not
But you
tell him
have
to
border
remove
patrol
it?
agents. But you have border patrol agents that don't even want to do that. You want to know why? Because that Constantina wire is actually helping our border patrol agents do their job, other than babysit, change diapers, feed
Right. So
babies
fuck
that
the
aren't even
Supreme
there,
Court, right?
so on and so forth. No, hey, Joe, where's Joe Biden? Don't worry about the Supreme Court. Ask Joe Biden why he hasn't come down here to cut that wire.
All right. Okay.
Because
You got something,
that
Bernie?
he
Got
doesn't
give
do
you 20
stuff like
seconds.
that.
Joe Biden's in
So what's your
DHS
solution?
is under Joe Biden.
So
DHS
Mr.
is under Joe
Bloviate,
Biden. Joe
Mr.
Biden made a
Bloviate,
threat to Texas.
what's your
Mr.
solution?
Birdie, Joe Biden made a threat to Texas, and he was going to sue him, so on and so forth. Supreme Court ruled. We're down here in Texas still waiting on Joe Biden to come down here and cut this wire. If you are upset at Texas for having Constantina wire, then get upset at the man who led you to
Listen, I
believe
know
that he
you
was
want to
going to
make
come and cut this
like
wire.
you guys
You
brought
getting
up
dragged
constant.
all over this live. Like you
Dude,
getting dragged.
how is that? How is that? You just agreed that
Hey,
that
if
the Supreme
Birdie's
Court can
Oh,
getting
make
bro,
dragged,
it's
it.
hey y'all in
bad.
the
This is
chat. If
bad.
Birdie's getting dragged, if Birdie's getting dragged, y'all drop some American flags in the chat. Let him know. That way maybe he can see it.
Well, I
I
don't
don't.
agree. I don't agree that he's getting dragged.
One
I think
second, PK. 1 second.
First of all,
Bernie,
you
I'm
just
Bernie.
admitted that
Bernie.
they told him to take the wire down.
Why, Mr. Birdie? Can we be honest about
Hang
that?
on,
And,
Here it is
DeLuca.
right here.
DeLuca. Whoa,
second, you
DeLuca.
still haven't come
DeLuca.
up with a
Everybody
solution.
quiet. I
And
want to
what
give Kind
and
G an
what's Trump
opportunity
would
to
do
get
to
in
fix
here.
it?
Kind G, you've been waiting patiently and you haven't cut anybody off. So, Kind G, go ahead. Kind G, unmute yourself, dear. Kind G, going once, going twice. Okay, Kind
Hey,
G.
can you set up a new goal? Can you set up a new gift goal?
Yes, I can. DeLuca, go ahead.
So let's talk
Got his hand up
about
right
the
there.
razor wire.
So like all your followers are the ones doing the flag. So like, who cares?
Well, I mean,
Let's
Bertie, they are listening. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have a point of view. Jammin has his point of view. DeLuca has his point of view.
My only point of view is that it's not both sides. It's one side that wants to keep the border the way it is.
But that's your problem.
They gave you everything you wanted,
not true.
and you didn't
That's
vote.
not
You had
true.
4 years to
5,000 a
do
Mr.
the
day
damn
Denali,
thing.
can I
coming
read it?
over.
Hey,
Can I
we
read this?
need to be respectful of everyone. Please stop cutting people off.
I believe I had the floor and I was cut off.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What are you showing us now, DeLuca? Because you always got show and tell. What you got?
All right. What we got here is the decision on the razor wire and why the Supreme Court ruled the way that they did. It says the razor wire was one of the several barriers installed along the banks of the Rio Grande to deter illegal immigration. But according to the appeal filed by the Department of Homeland Security, the razor wire prevented Border Patrol agents from doing their jobs. That's what they filed. Had nothing to do about it being Geneva Convention or anything. It was about them saying that they were unable to do their jobs because of the razor wire. So this humanitarian crap, I don't buy it.
Yeah, that's not.
Well, two
It's
things
just
can be
not true.
true because
It's right here, black
I'm
and
looking
white.
at
Let's
an
let
article.
PK
Yeah,
in
what
here.
is that source? Right wing bullshit.
Well, yeah.
So,
What is that? Yahoo? What is that?
so let me.
Snoops.
What?
Snoops.
Snips? What is that?
Snoops.
Snoops. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me a
Okay.
break.
Go
I know
ahead,
Birdie Dog
PK.
feels like he's getting ate up now.
Okay.
He's getting mad.
Go ahead, PK.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm looking at an article about a Dallas News that says the Texas razor wire and boils at the border violate international law. So it's an article you can pull off of.
Well, razor wire is not good, PK.
It's against the law because of the placement of where it's at. You got it in the
Wait,
water.
hang
On
on.
the border, in the water.
Explain to me why razor wire is not good on the border.
It's invisible to the naked eye because it's submerged in water. So you trying to cross the grill.
Well, that's not. I don't agree with that.
Well, Mr.
That's
Denali,
yeah.
that's what Mr. PK is talking about is not what we're talking about. There is Constantina wire in the Rio Grande, okay? But it
Yeah.
was over those balloons. If y'all remember those little floating devices, the red ones,
right?
That actually breaks international law because it was actually not in control of being floated one side more to the other. So that was in violation. Those have already come down, but it is not in violation to have the concertina wire off the embankment. And if any of y'all have ever been there, then you would know it's
Oh,
not on the water. You actually have 20
So
yards from the embankment where that concertina wire is actually set. And if you haven't been there, please don't educate me on what I've seen
That is
Jamming.
okay.
So
true.
personally.
jamming. So here's
So
Now
the
listen,
so
hang on a second.
but
I would
jamming.
wait,
Here's
say
can
the
I
that
situation.
can I
one
just say
second.
something?
I'm gonna let you go. That is true. That if we have not, I have not personally been to the border, so everything that I'm looking at are pictures or videos. But I think Jammin has been personally to the border. He's in East Texas. We had the issue with Tony and Darren both living in New York City and having completely different experiences. And Tony saying that that wasn't true. What Darren was saying. But I have to tend to go with jamming and people who have been to the border and they're saying that these things are happening as opposed to us just reading about it or seeing what's going on TV. Birdie Dog, go ahead.
In this,
So because I've been to Wall Street, do I know how it works?
What the
Am I
Birdie?
telling you
Hang
anything
on one
about
second,
Wall
No,
Birdie.
Street?
but
Hang on one second,
but
everybody.
seriously, okay.
Birdie,
I'm
if
just
you
saying.
go to hang on, if you go to
I'm
the
just saying.
border,
Besides
you
that,
do not
right?
have to. You don't have to go into Wall Street. You have to go into Wall Street and look at the computers and everything else to understand exactly what's going on inside. But you can go to the a crossing and
Even if I went inside.
Buy low, sell high.
I don't
Very
know.
simple.
I don't know if
Hey,
that's.
Mr. Denali, I told you.
I
He's
don't
too
know if that's a.
emotional for this
I don't know if that's
conversation,
a.
Mr. Denali. He's too emotional.
I don't know if that's a fair comparison. That
No,
if
wait,
I
wait. First of all, I just want to get it straight, right?
yeah.
This whole razor wire thing was like a straw man by these guys. Like I didn't argue. I didn't bring up razor wire. You did. And then
No,
for
you did.
my point has been the same the whole time. You had bills, you had everything in your favor to vote on it. You didn't do anything about it. So don't give me the both sides bullshit.
Do you
That's your
agree with
thing,
razor wire
dude.
on the border,
You
Birdie?
don't do the right, your party doesn't do the right thing, and you make it about both sides.
Do you agree with razor wire on the border if it's not in the water?
Who, me?
Yes.
No, I don't agree with any razor wire, but who cares? That's it. The razor wire isn't the problem
Mr.
from the border.
Denali,
okay, it's not a point
Mr.
of whether
Denali,
you
Mr.
agree.
Denali, I don't
It's
have.
not a. It's not a
Uh,
violation of the law to have them on the border, but it
yeah,
was it was an international violation of the law to have them in the waters. So that's already been determined because of Jamie's clarification. I mean, Jammins. I'm sorry,
Right.
clarification.
I mean, you're making a straw man argument. You're making an argument that you know about, and you're making it all about that. That's not what I'm saying. You still haven't answered what I said.
Okay. What's your
You
question
still
to Jam?
haven't made the
What's your
response.
question to
That
Jammin so he
said,
can answer it?
why didn't Republicans vote for the bill? It gave them everything they want. Don't tell me it didn't.
Lou, can I
Republicans would
answer
tell you
that?
it
Because
gave
that's
them
why I
everything
actually
they
came
want.
up here.
Okay, hang on one
Yeah,
second.
American Lumberjack. Go ahead, because at the end of the day, if I already explained why, Mr. Denali, and I did, okay, and he's not hearing it, maybe hearing it from someone else,
Um,
we'll get him to understand. Go ahead,
Damn, here's
America.
Lumberjack.
another guy I've been
Hang,
listening to for a
hang
long
on a
time.
second, Sean.
Lumberjack.
Everybody quiet. America, how'd you hear about the platform? I think I know, but I want to hear you say it.
It was sent to me by someone that follows you.
Okay, all right. So what
So,
say you, sir?
um, Bertie, I have two questions, and then I need like 30 seconds to 45 seconds of uninterrupted because you've been interrupting the whole time. So my
Hang
first
on,
question,
I got you, American. I'll take care of the traffic. You go ahead and say what you need to
yeah.
say.
So Bertie, have you read HR 815?
Not fully, no.
Okay. All right. Do you know how much money was going to go to the border in HR 815?
Listen, just make your point. I don't do this question answer bullshit.
Well, it's important because you keep telling Jammin that they gave this bill that it's a deal of a lifetime that will never be gotten again, and that Trump told them not to vote for it so that he would get the credit for it when he got
You
in
do not
office.
believe
The
that,
bill,
That's
American?
all
I
that's
do
true.
not, because the bill was 118 billion dollars. 114 of that 818 billion was going to Ukraine, Gaza, Israel, Taiwan.
Whoa, hang on. Whoa. Didn't they take out the foreign funding and made it a
No,
standalone
no,
bill.
no, 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 no,
You
because you're talking
didn't?
about you're talking about
Republicans
the
were
next
the
bill. Hold on,
Republicans were the
Birdie. I need
author of this bill.
No, Birdie,
Birdie,
Birdie.
calm
Hang on
down,
1 second.
calm down. So you're talking about the bill that followed that 2 weeks later after it got shot down for $95.6 billion, of which 60 billion of that $95.6 billion was going to Ukraine. So these bills originally started out as veteran aid bills. If you go read them, which I've done both, if you go read them, Bertie, you will see they started out as veteran aid bill, and then the HR 815 got turned in from a veteran aid bill into a veteran aid and national security bill. Again, 114 billion to foreign aid. That's why it got shut down. Out of the $4 billion that they said was going to the border, only 500 million of it was actually going to the border, and the rest, what the 3.5 billion dollars, the rest of it was going to three-letter agencies that had nothing to do with the border, of which
Right.
that 4 billion was pointless because it wasn't even going where it needed to be utilized at. So in the $95 billion bill, guess what? They were only going to give $150 million to the actual border. So it behooves me that you get up here and rant and rave about these things that you haven't even read. I took the time on my live and broke down both bills in their entirety, added up every single cent to the letter, and showed where it went to and where it didn't go to. 815 took me 2 hours to do, and the following bill that was $95.6 billion took me 45 minutes to do, to break down. So please get off of this platform and quit saying dumb stuff, because that's all you're doing, and it's emotional talk, pleading.
Okay.
All I know is that this was authored by Republicans. So if you're
Told you.
blaming the bill on Democrats or it not
I
passing
didn't.
because of
Did you
these
hear me blame
things,
one side or the other? Did you hear me
well,
blame one side or the
but that's
other?
what's happening in this
I didn't say
country.
Democrat or Republican in the whole
Well,
time I
well, hang
spoke.
Okay.
on.
So
American Biden is getting the blame, right? Isn't he getting the blame for the border right now?
Well, the current crisis that we have right now is indeed his fault, because he could have kept remain in Mexico.
Okay. So I guess my thing is the bill that was put up, did that help in border security?
No, it did not.
Tell me why
see
it
now,
didn't help. Tell me, hang on. Tell me why increased border agents. Tell me why more judges to work with the asylum backlog. Tell me why those things are not good for the border.
Those things would be good if that's what was the only thing in there. So that was the beginning. You're talking about when he pushed out the letter to everyone saying the Senate had created a bipartisan bill that the House needed to sign. First and foremost, everybody needs to read their Constitution, because in the
Hang on,
articles it
hang on,
states.
hang on, hang on,
No,
hang
I'm
on.
gonna be quick. I'm gonna be
No,
quick.
I
This is
know. I need
important.
you. What I guess what I'm saying is the bill
I'm
going
gonna
to
get to that. I promise.
no, I gotta finish the question. Is the bill going to help the border?
No,
It won't help the
no,
border.
see,
no.
The
It will
this is
not.
150.
where
Hang
this
on,
is where the
everybody.
pretzel
Please stop
begins.
talking. 150 more judges and more border agents is not going to help the border, sir.
No, that
Are
bill
you
is
are you
not
looking
going
for
to.
the
It's
perfect
not.
bill? Are you looking for the
No, I'm
perfect
not
bill?
looking for. No, I'm not.
Okay,
That
I'm
bill's
gonna
not going to
snap.
help.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna Thanos snap my finger. You're in charge. What are the top three things you're going to do that is going to help the border?
First and foremost, I would reinstate remain in Mexico. Okay,
Okay,
that will.
explain what that means for the audience, because I don't know what
So
that means.
so remain in Mexico was something that Trump put in place. That even it was, which was an offshoot of what Obama had. It would stop the flow as it is right now. That so they would have to stay in Mexico before and file their paperwork whilst in Mexico.
Okay, so
That's what
you
it
don't
was.
want them to cross over and seek asylum. You want them to seek asylum in their country of origin.
Well, it's
And
not even
so what
country of origin. It's not country of
and
origin.
if I
It's
could just
they're
add one
supposed
thing and
to.
let you talk,
It,
I just want to
Jesus
add one
Christ.
thing. So
What?
you're
What?
assuming you're going
But
to win
Bernie.
all. No, I just want to add one thing and I'll stop. You're
Man, he's
assuming you're going to win.
disrespectful as hell. He don't even respect your
Hang on
platform.
1 second, everybody. Hang on. Bertie, what did you want to add? Go ahead, real quickly.
So you're going to assume that all the lawsuits that were filed on the administration that were losing lawsuits. They were not going to win those lawsuits. For remain in Mexico, were going to be successful. So, first of all, I assume that you're not even going to be able to do remain in Mexico because you're going to be constantly sued and you're going to lose when it goes to the Supreme Court.
Okay. All right. So you want remain in Mexico. You want
Yes, sir.
people to remain there and ask for entry from their country of origin, right?
Yes, sir. And what would remain in Mexico was actually doing, it was forcing those people that were coming to get their paperwork right, because they're getting currently to the border right now with falsified paperwork and paperwork that was not from their actual country of origin. People from Europe was coming, China was coming, countries in Africa were coming with paperwork that was falsified. So what Remain in Mexico did is it made them submit their paperwork there instead of getting here
That way they
and
can
submitting
vet it
paperwork.
before they got to the border.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So,
What's number two?
Number two, I would go back and revamp 42, Title 42, where it from the Kobe Bryant 19. I'm not gonna say the word to get your live ban. Where they had that, he had the power to revamp that, which also would have put a further tightening on the entry of the individuals. And then once I got those two things in place, I would shut the border down completely. Then I would take what you were asking about out of HR 815, where they were supposed to be getting all these judges and extra border agents and stuff like that. And I would give the money just to that. Just to that.
All right. Do you think that most people that come here are coming here to work?
It doesn't matter.
No. Well, I asked the question, so it does matter.
No. What I'm saying is the ones if you okay, I'll answer your question.
Great, thank you.
If someone's feeding me spaghetti, 95% of it is spaghetti, 5% of it is poison. I'm not eating spaghetti.
I don't know what that means, sir.
Meaning that if
I'm asking you.
100 people, if 100 people come in, if 100 people come in to work,
Yeah.
and out of those 100, only 95 are here to work, and 5 there are cause dissent,
So my question
I'm not
to
letting
you
them in.
is, my question to you is, sir, do you think that the majority of people that come here are they coming here to work? Is it yes or
I don't
no?
know. I don't know what the majority of them are coming here for.
I'm asking you, how old are you?
I'm 37 years old.
Okay, so you have some knowledge, you have some life experience. What do you think the majority of the people that are crossing the border are coming for?
It depends, man. That's a complex question because it depends. Some people, if this was 1990, I would say the majority of them were coming here to escape whatever life they were coming here for.
We're into
This is not
2024.
1990.
What do you think? I'm just asking, sir. You don't have any control to do anything. I'm asking what you think.
Yeah, I'm telling you what I think.
You don't know is what you think.
Not
I
anymore.
think it's more, but I think it's more. To be fair, Mr. Denali, I don't think that lumberjack wants to assume when there's so many various reasons why people are coming here. You know, like I can tell you, for instance, like most of the people that are coming here, they're claiming they're fleeing political asylum or due to threats or whatever the case may be, but yet they actually get denied because they do videos on their way here talking about they're coming here to work for economic reasons. That is not why you seek asylum or get refugee status. That is
I don't
not
know.
why, and that's why they get pushed away and they get denied. And that's one of the biggest forms with what Lumberjack was saying. If you apply certain laws, then you actually get your border patrol agents to do border patrolling shit in the sector of El Paso.
And I agree that they're doing
126,000
a lot
square
of.
miles. You only get three agents,
I
three agents
agree
to
that
So the
patrol that.
short answer is they don't
I,
care why they're coming here.
well, hang on.
And their end solution, he just told you, the end solution is to close the border. Well, good luck,
Yeah.
potato.
Well,
Because
that's not going to. I don't think that's going to
you're going to
happen.
pay $10 an apple.
I think it has to
You
be
think food prices are high now? Get ready for that.
It has to be a several prong approach. I personally, I think a lot of people are coming into work, and my thing was, one of the prongs should be that we should punish the people who knowingly hire illegal, or excuse me, undocumented people, because it seems like we want to punish the people who are coming here for a better life, as opposed to punishing the people who might be taking advantage of those people that want to come in for a better life. If we started putting CEOs of companies that are hiring, knowingly hiring undocumented people and hiring managers and HR departments and giving them a good punishment, I think they would stop hiring. And if you
But
stop
I think
hiring those
that's
people, then you might take away the magnet for a lot of people coming here to when coming here to work.
Mr.
But I think
That
Denali.
too simplistic? Is that too
that's what Mr.
simplistic?
Lumberjack was saying though. Mr. Lumberjack is saying he's not against people coming here if they do it legally. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but
Like
He
nobody's ever
literally
been
just
against
said
that,
close
but
the
we
I know,
borders.
don't
Bird.
know.
You got to
We
stop cutting
don't
people off. You
we
got to
don't know
stop.
who's coming here. We don't know their
I,
intentions. They're
I
coming
know,
not just from Mexico, it's from all
but at
over the
the end of the
world.
day, he wants to completely shut down the border, and I don't
I
think
didn't
that's
get to
possible.
finish. I didn't get to finish. Birdie cut me off. I was still trying to talk.
I did
Birdie
not
cut me
cut you
off, and
off.
then you.
Jam and cut
Yes,
you off.
no,
Everybody
you.
quiet. I thought you were
Play
finished with
back
number
the
three.
tape, moron.
I thought that number three was you wanted to shut down the border. Was
Mr.
that your
Denali,
third point, sir?
Mr. Denali, I did not
Yes.
get to finish because Birdie interjected, and then you
My
told him
question
to
to
be
you is,
quiet.
was your third point to shut down the
I,
border?
can I finish my third point?
Okay,
Is
go
what I'm
ahead.
asking.
Shut down the border and do
So,
what?
so if you got a leak in your house, you turn the water off.
Right.
Okay. But the water does not stay in your house. It doesn't stay off permanently. It stays off until you fix the leak. I don't care if the people come into our country. That I want them to come. That's nice. That's what we're bounded on, what we're built on. But I do not want them coming in any kind of way they want to come in. That's a leak. I
I
say
agree with
shut
you.
down the border to fix the leak. Once
Right.
the leak is fixed, resume operations as normal. That's what I
Well,
was trying to get
do
at.
you? Okay, I got you. Do you think that the way that people can come in legally? Do you think that that needs to be revamped?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes, I do. Yes, I
Okay,
do.
I just didn't hear that in any of your 3 points.
I
I
was
think.
trying to get to that. I was trying to get to that. I
Okay.
promise you, I was trying to get to that.
Okay.
Can I
All right.
can I jump
Okay.
in, Denali? Can I jump in and say a few things?
Yes, sir. PK.
First
Yeah.
of all, stopping the leak. Okay, it's all fair and game in real life situations, but that's not going to deter people from wanting to cross the border to have a better economic situation for themselves. So you can say I'm gonna close the border down, but it's not going to deter people from coming over. That's number one. Number two, this stay in Mexico premise, right? So in order to stay in Mexico, that means you never cross the border to the United States. So imagine this. Okay, we have empirical data that says 5,000 people cross the border daily. So let's break this number down to one. Let's say 1,000 approach the port of entry, but they have to stay in Mexico. So that's 1,000 a day for seven. There's 7,000 people. When the hell is Mexico going to facilitate 7,000 people in a week's time over the course of however long period of time in order to facilitate this stay in Mexico situation until you guys give proper paperwork? It's not a real thing. It's not even It's not even practical if you think about it.
May I reply to him? Since
Absolutely.
okay, Mr.
Also,
PK.
wait. Well, before you do that, Sean,
Not sure why we should do it though.
who's that? Sean, do you have something?
Not on this, but I wanted to later on see if Lumberjack would talk about the Budapest memorandum when I was telling y'all that it was mainly for if Ukraine got in nuclear threats or wars, what his opinion was on that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Continue, American.
Okay, Mr. PK Strong. Remaining Mexico was working under the president that everybody likes to hate. It was working. The numbers weren't 5,000s and then an untold number of people sneaking in. Under the president that everybody likes to hate, the number of T people, and I'm not talking about the community, I'm talking about the ones that like to explode things, was dramatically different. It was in the low hundreds, whereas now it's almost 400 plus people have entered that are known T people. Okay, so it was working and it was facilitating. And according to asylum and immigration laws, you're supposed to stop at your first safe country and seek it there. These people are not seeking it at their first safe country. They are just running right up straight to our border and knocking on the door. So this was working. And the reason why we see the problem we have now is because it was removed. The lawsuits be damned. because it was working.
So you're saying people from other countries outside of Mexico, prior to Trump, they were coming across borders without reporting to the first country of the border entrance, opposed to now they're doing it milly willy as far as like coming over and skipping over borders and coming straight to the United States border. You
Yeah,
mean that portion stopped for 4 years as far as the
no,
immigrants
that's not what I
crossing
said.
multiple borders, but now all of a sudden, since Trump is not president anymore,
That's
they
not what
started
I
back crossing
said.
borders again, multiple
First of
borders.
all, it's not true. It happens all the time. I mean,
PK,
people
that's
fly
not what I
here on
said.
airplanes and claim asylum. It's just
That's
not
not what I.
true.
That's not what I said. That is not what I said at all. I said remain in Mexico because it was not just letting people. Currently, the current stance is right now, 2024. What's happening right now is they can't handle these people, so they're just giving them a ticket. Say, go. Here's your court date. Here's your court date. Here's your court date. Here's your court date, and they're just letting them into our country for up to now 10 years before their court date because it's been pushed out to 10 years because of the influx of people. And these people are ditching the cell phones that they're receiving, ditching that little ticket of their court date, and disappearing into our country. This is why they just arrested 3 people last week alone that were trying to collect weaponry and other things to cause harm. They just arrested them in our country. Biden didn't also tell you that in the beginning of his second year, he was flying them in to reduce the number of people at the border, but it's gotten so bad now that flying them in won't do anything now. So it was stopping them from just coming in and getting a ticket and say, "Come on in, we'll deal with you later."
So
That's
you
what it was
realize,
doing.
judges would help this
Oh my
situation,
God.
right? Processing them quicker. Would you not agree that most of the people that try to claim asylum get sent back?
All right. Okay. Let's level the room out for a
Crickets.
second. I got you. Let's level the room out for a second.
Hey,
Let's continue to
Mr.
tap the
Denali.
screen. Let's get over.
Oh,
Let's get over 38.5K likes. Also, I got a gift goal with the money gun. I need 20 of those. You guys can make your way up there and take care of that. Don't forget to gift the panel because we're getting very, very, very good information. And I appreciate the diversity on the panel. We all have a different perspective on things. We know what the problems are. We just have different ways on how to fix the problems. We understand that. But over here, you will have an opportunity to say what you need to say uninterrupted most times. Sometimes it does get a little passion in here, and I definitely appreciate the passion because we all do love this country, and we want this country to be better. And I want to go to my good friend
Mr.
down there.
Denali.
Who said that?
DeLuca did real quick. This is the receipt to what the America guy just said. Over 327,000 people have been flown in. The Biden administration has been flying them in secretly.
Okay.
Right here.
All right. Okay.
If it's secret,
Mr.
then how do you
Denali.
know about it, Potato?
Hey, Mr. Denali. Mr. Denali.
Yes,
can,
Gavin.
can I
Yes,
just
Gavin.
say some? I'm just gonna say some common sense stuff real quick.
I
If
love
you get a
common
3 liter,
sense.
if you get a 3 liter bottle or 2 liter bottle, okay, and you put a funnel on it, okay, and you try to pour, let's say, a gallon of water, okay, inside that 3 liter bottle, the judges are the 2 liter bottle. The gallon of water are the immigrants coming here. Like I said, I'm not against people coming here, but in regards to processing them, that's why the dude from that slain Laken Riley, he came through El Paso. The T guy that lumberjack is coming talking about, one of them came through El Paso last week. What you end up having when you're pouring that gallon of water and you have a choke point going into that 2 liter bottle, the water is going to overflow the funnel. That's what's happened right now. Even though we have more judges and we're having border patrol agents process these individuals, you're still going to have the overflow and not be able to keep up. If you can minimize the overflow, that will actually help. And we're all for people coming here. We're all for it. But Mr. Gerard, the one up on top, he knows exactly what I'm talking about because he lives by the southern border. He knows exactly what I've been saying. And at the end of the day, we do need a solution to this stuff because we're getting played by both sides. If they wanted to fix it, like I said earlier, they would treat it like they did TikTok and they would come up with a solution.
All right. All right,
So
Jam.
more judges doesn't solve it then.
I think that helps. I think that does. I think some of the things because I
Of
think a
course
lot of
it
times
does.
what happens a lot of times is that people are looking for the perfect bill, and you let the perfect be the enemy of the good. You're not always going to get everything that you want. That's just the way that it is.
Mr. Denali, if you're going
Yeah.
to make a bill for the border, make it just for the border. Do not have anything else in it. Stop
I
sending money to other
I
places.
thought that they took the other stuff out.
They didn't. They didn't.
Okay.
They didn't. I've read these bills thoroughly. I've sat down and read all 374 pages of HR 815, and I read all 68 pages of the following bill, which I can't. The name escapes me right now. $95 billion, $60 billion going to Ukraine. Why are we making stuff for other countries? A single issue bill is a single issue bill. We got a border problem. Write a bill for the border. Don't give any money to anything else. Just the border. I won't complain. I will not complain.
Okay,
Give you all the
so
judges, everything else.
okay,
Okay.
so
It,
answer me this. Then why the other funding has already been voted for and passed, right? So why don't the Republicans in the Senate take the rest of the bill and propose it?
Bro, the Senate doesn't control the money, the Congress does. This is why I was
No,
saying read
this
Article
was a
3, Section
Senate bill.
7, or
Listen,
Article 1,
dude,
Section 7.
come on, you're being disingenuous. The Senate
Well,
proposed this bill.
real quick, Birdie.
The
What
Senate
he's
can't propose
saying? Real,
the
hold
Senate
on, real
can't
quick,
propose a bill
American.
that has money in it. They can't.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why I
What
said
are you
read your
talking
articles.
about? It was
So,
they created the
Mr.
bill.
Denali,
American.
Mr.
Hold on,
Denali, I'm gonna
One
address the
second,
host.
American.
everybody.
I'm gonna address the host.
Hang on 1 second, guy. Hang on 1 second. Man, we are really passionate, and I really love
Did they not create this bill?
Birdie.
Did the
Birdie,
Senate
Hold
not?
on,
No,
Birdie,
but
real
listen, I want to
Birdie.
Birdie.
answer to
Let
this
me.
question.
Okay,
Did the
what's your
Senate
question,
not create
Birdie?
the bill?
Did the Senate create the bill? American?
Yes, Mr. Denali. The
Okay,
Senate created the
so
bill,
I'm
but
saying propose another
according
bill
to
without the
according
stuff
to
in it that you don't
So,
the
like.
so that's a
listen,
good
listen.
question,
You're
American.
bending yourself into a
Let's hang
pretzel.
on, American. That's if the Senate created a bill. Why don't they create a bill that's standalone and get the things that they want inside the bill?
Okay, Mr. Birdie. I don't have a problem with whomever creates the bill. I don't care who creates the bill. The Senate cannot create a bill that requires fundraising.
All right, the power
Period.
of the president.
Only Congress can do that. So this bill, HR 815, coming out of the Senate is dead on its face because they're creating a bill that requires fundraising. So it doesn't
What
matter.
are you
It doesn't
talking
matter.
about? I'm not
This
saying
tells me you
put
don't know
in
your
anything
All
Constitution.
right,
that's in
American.
there.
okay.
I
You
got
guys are
you.
not.
Hold
Hang
on.
on. You two guys are not going to be able to get this going. All right. So let's get
This is
another
the most
voice in here.
ridiculous shit I've
I,
ever heard.
Can I jump in here real
Bertie,
quick?
I know that you're
Hold
passionate.
on.
I know
It's
that
the
you're
context
passionate and
of it. Let
everything
me
else like
explain
that.
it.
So I get that everybody's passionate, but we're going to bring another voice in here. Everybody, don't forget to tap the screen because that's how we get this pushed out and get some good conversation going. Thank you so much because we got 161 people in here. So continue to tap. Let's get over 40,000 K likes. And Zeus, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. First off, what's going on, everybody? It's the context of the situation. So, what American is basically talking about is in the Constitution, it does actually say that only the House, not just Congress, because Congress is the whole judicial body, right? The House has the ability to write funding bills, like that's point blank. Period. The House, if money has to go toward it, the House has to write it, or pretty much if they're not writing it, then they would have to, what Birdie Dog is basically saying, turn around and take the bill that the Senate has proposed, rewrite it, and then send it back to the Senate, and then it goes to be passed. That's where I think the context is being missed. The Senate can turn around and produce and write said bill, generate said bill, but it can't turn around and go to the House and then go straight to the president. It has to go to the House, come back to the Senate, and then go to the president in this
No, right. I
context.
understand how government works. Like it has to be passed by both houses. But
Right.
the bill can be
But the Senate
authored by
themselves
anyone
can't.
or proposed
Not
by anyone.
it can't be proposed, but technically speaking, the Senate can't write a bill that's something that has to be that requires money that has to be taken out of the out of
Right. It has
taxes.
to be passed
Only
by
No,
the
only
House
the House
first.
I
can
think what
pass that.
Bertie is saying is that if the Senate has the bill, they can talk to their counterparts in the Congress and write the bill that they want to get the money from the Congress. I mean, I think we.
Mr.
Right.
Denali, Mr. Denali, the Senate
So
bill,
again,
right? The Senate's bill always starts with SB. The Senate bills always start with SB. From the House, okay, they always are an HR. And whenever you conflate the two, whenever the Senate is trying to tell an HR
well, it's
bill,
not always a HR. HR is a House resolution. House bills are
yeah,
HBs.
yeah,
I mean, you
yeah,
can.
There's been
yeah.
plenty
That's
of
what I'm trying
bills
to
that
get
have
at.
been
But Zeus,
brought by
right
the
back what you
Senate
were
and
saying, right,
passed
Zeus?
through
Like
the
right back what
House.
you were or right back what you were saying. You were correcting and following up, not correcting. You were following up the explanation on why Lumberjack was saying what he was saying. And
Right.
that's earlier we were conflating the two with HR2 and SB 15 or whichever one that Lumberjack was saying. There was a little bit of conflation and overlapping of those bills, and I was just trying to clarify that, man. That's all I
Right.
was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then so real quick to add on, like I hear what you're saying, American, like to remove the stuff from the bill, but remember when Kevin McCarthy became the Speaker of the House, the Republicans changed the rules so that everything would have to be voted on independently. But then when it came to funding for Ukraine, Republicans said that they wouldn't pass anything for Ukraine unless they did something on the border. So that's how these two bills got put together. Now, I heard a second ago somebody was complaining that there wasn't enough money for the border, or that there was an issue with sending 60 million to Ukraine or 60 billion to Ukraine and only spending so much on the border. But you don't throw a whole I mean, our government's money is not fully infinite. So you don't throw $60 billion at a problem that only takes 25 billion to fix. And ultimately, again, a lot of people I've been seeing in the comments are having an issue with the 5,000. But is there anything else in said bill that you have an issue with aside from 5,000 people coming in? Because again, this is divided government. And as Denali is saying, in divided government, you have to work together. You can't just pass a House bill when the House is full of Republicans, but the other two branches are controlled by Democrats. It'll never pass if you're not working with the Democrats in the said body in order to get it passed. You're not going to force your objectives down America's throat when in divided government. You have to
right.
have control of all three chambers in order to do that.
Right, and you can't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. You're not always going to get everything that you want. That's what negotiation is about. And unfortunately, in this day and time, negotiation has become a four-letter word. If I can't get everything I want, I'm going to go ahead and put a hole in the ball, and I'm going to go home. But thank you, Zeus. And I want to go to my good friend. He's been waiting. I know he's probably on lunch or something like that. Duke down in H Town. What's up, Duke?
Absolutely amazing conversation. It just amazes me how it just amazes me when facts are being thrown out, and I know what it is. A person's not going to believe a person because they believe that they're lying before they open their mouth. Um, the stay in Mexico policy was working. I'm here in Texas. It was working. The goddamn thing was working. But since Trump,
Real quick,
and
Duke, real quick, not to cut you off,
sure,
my guy. When
sure.
you say it's working, maybe just so we all understand, you should include about how many people that the Remain in Mexico policy actually stopped from coming over, so we have some type of idea of the semblance of it working.
Well, I don't have the actual numbers. I was watching some of the reports on the border, and there's more things that was going on in Texas instead of just the deal on the border. But when the border was not a strong issue because the policies was working, then we didn't have to bust people out of this country, out of this state. It wasn't until Joe Biden came into office and made an executive order. It overturns Trump's policy. Now Joe Biden doesn't need a bill. He doesn't. He can executively order right now to halt the flow of migrants, migrants, illegal aliens coming into Texas, especially not just Texas, but the southern border, until the problem is fixed. He knows it. He know he can do that. All this talk about the bill, this, bill that, he doesn't need it. He could do exactly what he wants to do. Hey, notice how they was able to stop the Haitians before and Haitians right now, coming into this country. Imagine that. They found planes, trains, and automobiles to send them back to their country. Number two, Mexico can control its border. They don't have to have people coming in from South America, Central America, and anywhere else. But they allow them to come into the country because they traffic people. They give people what they want. They got mules taking whatever they need to into the United States, and they know the United States cannot stop them. They can control it if they want to, but they don't want to because they see they have a weak-kneed president that says, "Well, we're going to just let it go, let it happen." Now, this president is trying to work with Mexico, and Mexico said, "You got to pay us now. You got to pay us if you want us to control our border." You know,
20 billion.
uh,
20 billion.
so this border crisis and yes, we are a land of immigrants, but we used to have a point of entry where everybody was vetted before they came in. Now I work at Tyson. I didn't want to say the name of the company, but I work at Tyson. A lot of people here do not are not legal. They're not. Tyson knows it. HR knows it. You want that? You love that Tyson chicken, don't you? You like it, okay? Just about if you want to get plumbing or whatever else. I don't mind working side by side with these people. They're good people. There are a lot of people that come here for work. There are a lot of people that are fleeing countries because they're under persecution. There are a lot of people that are here leaving illegal situations that should not be in the United States. We was able to shut it down during 9/11. Didn't have a problem with neither side shutting the border down after 9/11. Did not have a problem. Nobody screamed and hollered, "Oh my God, the humanitarian effort." We shut that damn border down and you was happy it was closed. Now, I'm sick and tired of hold on, I'm about to go back. I'm about to finish this and go back to work. I'm a veteran. I'm sick and tired of sending money to Zelensky and his cronies for absolutely no reason at all. For no reason. Okay, Vladimir Putin is going to do what Vladimir Putin needs to do. We need to keep our nose out of that business. Okay, that's not our situation. But you can continue to send money over there, or weapons, or whatever it is you want to. Okay, he's going to lose either way about it. We could use that money right here, right here.
Well,
Now,
what do you say the fact that we're going to be paid back within the next decade?
but they're not going to pay us back. They're
They're
not.
not going to pay us back.
They're,
Isn't
they're
that
not.
isn't that
They're
the
not.
contract?
They're not. Look. Read. Hey, like in the words of Ronald Reagan, or I forgot who's ever said it.
Trust
No,
but
it was a
verify.
Bush. It was Bush. It was Bush. Read my lips. Zelensky is not going to pay you back.
How do you quantify
Okay.
that, Duke? How do you quantify that?
Hey. Has Japan
We're
paid us
doing
back yet?
because we're
Has Japan?
Yes,
laundering
they
money
have.
through them.
Yes,
That's
they
why.
have. Yes, Japan has, and I was
No.
waiting for you
No,
to
they
say
haven't.
that, Duke. Yes,
No, they
they
won't. No, they haven't.
have.
No, they haven't. Germany hasn't paid us back. Japan hasn't paid us back. South Korea hasn't paid us back. No country has paid us back
They
yet. We're still
literally
in debt.
have.
They literally have not. And they're not
And
going
if
to pay.
you, they
Kuwait
literally
has,
have, bro. And even with that
Iraq
being
hasn't.
said, dude, I'm sorry, bro. I was trying to really
Sure.
let you ramble, but you're so the context again, Duke. The context again of what you're saying is what's off, and there aren't coherent tangents here. Like one, you're spreading Russian propaganda. On the other side, like none of the propaganda you're saying is actually was
Wait,
the full situation.
what's
So it's Russian. So
hold
it's
on,
Russian.
hold on. What's Russian propaganda? What do you say that was Russian propaganda?
The Ukraine has already lost thing like that's Russian propaganda
Not
point blank
propaganda.
one.
That's not
Two,
propaganda.
Well,
He
I
didn't
mean,
say
That's
that. He didn't say that, by the way.
I didn't say nothing like that, Zeus. Just Zeus.
you didn't just say Putin was you
Zeus.
didn't just say Putin was going to do what he was going to do and Putin was going to
Zeus.
win the war.
Zeus.
hang on.
You
Zeus.
didn't just say in
Hang on one
saying
second. Hang on one second. Zeus, what did Duke say that was Russian propaganda?
The Zelensky and his cronies part, like that's implying that all of Ukraine's government is corrupt. And again, the whole reason why Ukraine's
Are
government
there
was
any
corrupt was
are there
because they were
any
being infiltrated
are there any
by
parts of
Russians.
the Ukraine government that is corrupt?
Is there any part of Ukraine's government that is corrupt? As in, are Russians still
Just
infiltrating
answer
their
it
government?
honestly.
No, I'm saying you said that. I'm saying based on the propaganda, you're saying he's implying that the parts of the Ukraine government are corrupt. I'm asking you, are there any parts of the Ukraine
I didn't know.
government?
Maybe I said parts, but he's implying that all of the Ukrainian government is corrupt. And again, Zelensky just turned around and got
Probably
rid of
are.
a few generals that he felt weren't doing what was needed on the battlefield and was giving Russia upper hand.
Hey Zeus. Hey
Like
Can I
Zeus.
say something real quick?
the
Zeus.
country
Hang on, hang on.
the country was formally corrupt again for the fact that Russia was infiltrating their government. Zelensky, since before Zelensky got in office, when Trump was even control, I mean when Trump was in office and he was talking to, I believe it was Lukashenko or the other guy. Even then, the problem was that Russia controlled those people. So the corruption that you're seeing, like the fact of them being corrupt is because they're being controlled by Russia.
Hey Zeus. Are you
Ukrainian
Zeus?
You're just
citizens said
regurgitating
they wanted to
media.
be
Okay.
sovereign.
All right.
Zeus, are you
Okay.
aware? Are you aware, Zeus, that Ukrainians just partook in the Russian election to elect Vladimir Putin in power? Are you aware of that?
Are you aware of the fact that Russia turned around and annexed those
Hey,
communities
Mr.
and
Denali,
justified it by saying
I
who was
love I
governor
Mr.
and who
love
were
the
Denali,
elected?
question.
Okay.
right,
I love
Mr.
the
Denali,
question with a question.
but
What?
Mr.
Hang
Okay,
Duke,
on one
yes,
second,
yes, I
guys.
am.
Mr.
Yes, I
Denali,
am aware
Mr.
Hang
of that.
on,
Denali,
Maybe,
hang
maybe
on,
I can
hang
make that more
on, hang on.
specific for you.
Duke, you
Yes,
had a
I am
question.
aware of
You
that.
had whoa. You had a specific question for Zeus. Did Zeus answer your question, Duke?
No, he did not.
What?
I'm
Ask the
answering
question
it
again.
now, sir. Yes, I am aware of that Russia turned around and had elections where people of Russia voted for Vladimir Putin to be president, right? But again,
Let me ask this
you're
question
missing the
again because you
context
missed it.
there, sir.
You missed the question,
What's the
sir. I
question?
said,
Go
do you
ahead.
know? I said, do you know that the Ukrainians just
Uh huh.
participated in the Russian election in order to re-elect Vladimir Putin back into office?
Okay, so what part of Ukraine participated in that election, sir?
Mr. Denali,
Let,
we were making
let me
great
try.
ground.
Let
Wait,
me
wait,
try
Mr.
again.
Duke,
Let me
Mr.
let me
Duke,
try.
let me just
Go
say
ahead.
this,
Go
Yes,
ahead.
Mr.
yes,
Duke,
Denali.
Mr.
I
Duke,
mean, not
Mr.
Denali.
Denali.
Duke,
Hey,
yes.
I'm talking to
Duke,
the host
yes,
real
I am
quick. I'm
aware of
talking
that.
to the
Zeus, give me a
Zeus,
second.
let me tell,
Go
right.
ahead.
You notice how we were making good ground in regards to the southern border issues, in regards to that, and now we're talking about something else. That's a huge problem in our country because we can't stay focused to even get common ground and a level of understanding in one simple topic that we got to turn around and redirect, deflect the topic into something else, and that just loses the entire progress we made. And
I completely agree with you. Sometimes
it's so
over here,
crazy,
and
man.
I have to take responsibility for that because I am the host and I can help to direct it. And sometimes we do go off track, and sometimes it's hard because then the conversation gets good about another topic, and people are interested. And listen, I try to let the conversation kind of be organic, and sometimes these things do get sideways, sometimes 100%, and I do my best to keep the train on the track, but sometimes, as you know, Mr. Jammer, it can be a little challenging sometimes when you have different people coming in and things like that. But
Can, can
I've been reading some comment. Sean, what'd you say, Sean?
No, I just wanted to say, go finish yours, and then can I just say something real quick? It'll be
Say it
two
now
seconds.
because I want to go to Gerard up
All right.
top because
Well,
the comments been
that's what
asking
I
for him.
wanted to do. I wanted to say what's up to Gerard.
Well,
I've been listening to
I
him,
wasn't
Lumberjack,
finished.
and Jamming for years, man. That's where I get most of my info from. They're very
Okay.
educated.
Appreciate you, Sean. Duke, what was the last thing you wanted to say? 'Cause I know you got to go back.
Yeah, let me say this to go back. Yeah, it did get sidetracked because when you say stuff that people don't understand or agree with, of course they want to go with the questions. The fact is that pouring money into Ukraine with these Senate bills, is ludicrous. There's no need to. They don't need to have anything in these bills, but just for border protection, border control. And yes, we do need to revamp a lot of our laws in order to let people seek asylum or whatever it is to get into this country. But the thing is that there's a problem in this country with our border. The president knows it. He doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He opened the border when he got here, and now he sees that there's a problem. Hey, thank you for having me up. I'll be back on later on once I get off. How long you gonna be on today, Denali?
We got one more
Cause you,
hour. That's it. We're giving four
that's it.
hours. We're giving four.
That's it,
Listen,
huh?
I'm not up here for 10 hours no more because, you know, I got to go to the job that pays my mortgage. So,
I hear that. I hear that, bro. Hey, I'll catch you when I can catch you. Then,
all right, man.
y'all
Appreciate
have
you.
from the great state of Texas. We will see y'all later. Trump 2024.
All right, great. Go ahead, Duke. And Gerard, want to get you in here because people have been asking for you to talk.
All right. I appreciate you, brother, and thank you for your platform. Thank you for
Hey,
having
man,
me up.
how did you hear about us?
You know what? Damon was in here, and so I came on in.
Okay.
I've never heard of you. I'm following you. I appreciate the way you carry your platform. Open
Thank you.
discussion is what we got to have.
Thank you. You on
And
the
I saw
border,
that
sir?
here. Yes, sir, I am.
Where are you at on the board, if I can ask?
Well, I'm within 10 miles of the border. There's Mexico right there. That right there, that
Wow.
mountain. That's Mexico right there.
Look at
So I'm
that.
right down
Okay.
here on the
Wow, look at
border
all the people
west
coming
of El
across.
Paso.
Ah,
And it's
come
a
on,
beautiful,
Birdie. Come on,
well,
Birdie.
it's a beautiful place. And this is what I want to say. If I can have, a minute and a half, I'll try to get out as quick as I can,
Sure,
yo.
go ahead, sir.
I'm trying to speak on behalf of everybody down here I know who came here from Latin America. We have a real big problem leaving these countries alone. We have conditions of modern day slavery right now that are happening. Another word for slavery is human trafficking. I did not expect to come down here and hear that. I've lived down here almost 5 years now. And when I first got down here, I still carried the narratives that I had in Pennsylvania that, this was about, it was a political thing and it was about white versus this and whatever. And I really didn't have a position on it. And then I got into a conversation and another and another and another. And these were people who came from Mexico. These are our Latin brothers and sisters that are now American citizens. And I did not expect to hear that it is human trafficking the biggest issue that we got at this border. And anytime you have a disparity in currency, you're always going to have people on one side that don't make enough and people on the other side that make a lot. And so you're going to have modern day slavery like conditions at that border. So this is what I want to say on behalf of the Latin people that I know, and I can't speak for all of them because obviously I don't know all of them. We need to lock that border, shut it down, and for the moment, throw the key the hell away. That's number one. Number two, we need to end all meddling in Latin American countries. Any bill that anybody talks about, we need to make sure we put a line in there to leave Latin American countries alone. Let them pick their own governments. Let those people be free finally. Since the 1940s, we've been meddling in those countries and stealing resources. In my opinion, I think we stated wrong. We do not have a border crisis. We have a Latin American stealing resources crisis. We will not let those people keep their resources the same way we won't in Africa. And that's why people come here. They don't come here mostly because we have a better country. I like to think I got a better country. I like to think I got more freedom. In all reality, they can't stay home because we're doing regime changing. We're flipping governments. We have the CIA trafficking weapons. This is not a political issue. This is not a thing of Democrats and Republicans, as Lou told you. This is a project for them. They are making money on this. And the reason why they do is because we're still debating about talking about side effects instead of fixing the root problem. Hands off Latin America. Let them pick their own daggone governments. The second thing I would do is I would close up that damn CIA. I'd create a bill that no acronym agency, no corporations that are American based can have any influence in governments in Latin America. Let those people finally be free. Y'all, this is something for us to solve. The politicians aren't going to do it. You can't go to the people who caused the problem intentionally because they were lobbied to do it by corporations to solve the problem. Only we can, which means we got to talk about the real root problem. And that is those people aren't free because we're still robbing them. Do people come over to work? Absolutely. And so the thing is, and my heart does go out to people like Birdie and others who just, they were told in the media, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. They were told in the media that this is a migration problem where people just want to come here to work, and the other side is racist and whatever. They don't want to let them work. That's not what time it is, brothers. That is not what time it is. What time it is they want to keep the industry of trafficking going. The last thing on that point, my third point, seeing how Lumberjack gave 3, I'll give my 3. And that is I would end the war on drugs. Because it's the war on drugs that caused all these problems. So once we get the American government out of the Latin American governments, we got to get the cartels out of there. And the only way we can do that is breaking the bank. Human trafficking is funded by the drug war. We need to leave those countries alone. As long as we got a drug war and most of the drugs are coming out of that Latin America, then they will not have governments because the cartels have so much power. They're literally hiring American ex-special forces. They got tanks, they got jets. You can't run a country when you have a powerful cartels. The last statement I'll make is it was a guy, he's a tow truck driver from Mexico. And what he told me, he said, because we were talking about, I wanted to go to Mexico. And he was like, brother, don't go to Mexico. And I was like, why not? He's like, I was raised in Mexico. He said, I don't go to Mexico. He said, Mexico was a failed state. He said, don't go there. Even if you speak the language, you're going to be in trouble. You won't know where to go. The only way to fix this is one, we got to back out of it. And if we do any funding, we need to secure the border. And maybe we need to help them from a troop perspective, right? We need to help the Latin American people have elections, perhaps, because we caused this. I'd recommend y'all read a book by John Perkins called Confessions of an Economic Hitman that explains all of this and how we've been doing it since the 1940s. We need to make sure that they pick the governments they want, whether that's socialist, communist, capitalist. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear that, but that's not our business. The conditions there we caused, and we need to give them their countries back. And on that, I rest. Appreciate the moment.
All right. Hey, Mr.
This
Denali.
is why I listen to these guys.
Can I respond to that? Because I was kind of
Mr.
addressed.
Denali,
I was addressed.
Mr. Denali, I was just going to let you know you have Mari Sin Censura, who is actually an immigrant. She's from Cuba. She can share her story, man. If somebody would like to drop, hell, I would drop because she's very knowledgeable.
I don't know her. She can have my bucks. Can we do that? Because it's those we need to hear from our brothers and sisters there. I don't talk about New York because I don't live in New York. I live at the border. I can tell you about the border. She can tell you things that I don't know, and I have no idea what she's going to say.
Right, if you can't stay up because you did mention Birdie. Hang on a second, Bart. Hang on a second, Bart. Hang on a second, Bart. You did mention Birdie, and Birdie wants to have a couple words with you. So Birdie, go ahead.
Okay, I hang on.
So, I just want to get some facts straight. Like 60% of the undocumented immigrants in this country are people that flew here and are overstayed their visa. That's first. I agree with you on us meddling in South America and stuff like that. They did that to Venezuela under the Trump administration. And I don't agree with that at all. So I agree with you with the systemic problem at the border. I disagree with you shutting the border. I mean, you basically destroy the American economy if you shut down the American border.
Birdie, so I think you and I actually agree on a lot of points, and I do believe in open borders. I absolutely do not like a world where we have borders like this. But when you have economic disparities the way that we do and the problems that we have, we have to kind of treat this, in my opinion, in a way of triage. We got to deal with the worst problem at first. And that is we got to stop these children from being brought over here. It's just not okay what they're doing. I hear what you're saying in terms of economics, but to a degree, we might take it on the chin by doing that. But that's our punch to take it. Like a grown man,
Yeah, but
there's some hits we got to take. And we didn't cause it, right? We weren't, a lot of us weren't alive in the 40s, but we are beneficiaries of what they're doing to Latin America. So I think, got to take it on the chin on this one. And maybe down the road, once we have better trade going on, but the last reason I believe, brother, and kind of shutting the borders down right now is we live in times of global instability. The whole world hates us at this moment in time. We got allies, don't get me wrong, but the only way you're going to defeat us and our allies is by coming after the American people, because you ain't gonna deal with the U.S. military. The U.S. military is gonna wipe. They could take on the whole world. I think if they were unleashed. So how do you
Right. I mean,
strategically fight this country? You got to get people here, and you got to cause mass chaos here, which is what
But
Border Patrol and
yeah, that
National Guard that I've talked to have said is their biggest concerns is certain people coming over the border. And the funny thing is, brother, and let me wrap it up on this. I didn't expect to hear this conversation. I didn't expect to hear from someone I know in the National Guard high up who says, "Oh, we watched the entire border with drones. We just don't have the manpower to respond. So we don't go after
but see,
families we see crossing. We go after certain groups of people we think that are here for nefarious reasons. And that's
but
why I think we
Gerard,
got to shut the border.
but
In
Gerard,
the
do do,
times of
do you
doing
remember?
war,
But
we
but
cannot have an open border, y'all.
But Gerard,
We got children here.
We talked about this 2 years ago, Gerard, and I think one of the main reasons we started following each other is because something we shared in common, which was buzzards. We know exactly
So,
what that means. If none of you know what buzzards is about or what people deal with on the southern border in regards to buzzards, when you see them circling, you know damn well something's bad has happened. And that's something that we should all collectively agree on. Whenever you recover a kid or you find a kid who is dehydrated, no longer here with us, these are telltale signs that also the National Guard, our own military, our Border Patrol agents have been dealing with for decades. It's a telltale sign of what you know is coming, and it's always something bad. We should all be against that, no matter what your political sides are. And that's the sad part because a lot of them are kids. They can't keep up with the people who are coming, who are bringing them, so they get left behind. And it's so inhumane and heartless, man. At the end of the day, that's something we should all be agreeing upon. And that shit sucks when you've seen it in person. And Gerard has seen it, and that's why we started following each other because I knew he knew what the hell he was talking about because I've seen what I've seen.
He's on the front line, like you said. He's a couple miles from the Mexico border. No, not miles. He's right
host,
next to the Mexico border.
host,
So
can I have 30 seconds to expand on what Lou just said? Because
could
it
I
is
just
heartbreaking,
could I
and
just
a
say
lot of people
something before we
don't
get
know
into
about.
that whole
let
thing?
Birdie dog get in there, and then we'll end this part with you, Gerard. Go ahead, Birdie.
Yeah, I don't disagree that like the whole children and so-called trafficking thing happening at the border. No one wants that to happen, obviously. But the thing is it's been happening for decades. This didn't happen when like all of a sudden start happening when Biden came into office. So what I have problems with, and really my only problem, is that it's being assigned to one political party over another. Um, and that's what I'm hearing. You didn't say that,
Gerard.
Gerard, but what I'm hearing is this is all Biden. And then when it's being used as a political football, when even if that bill incrementally helped the situation, why would you not take that? Why would you take nothing if you really care about those children at the border and the stuff happening on the border? Why wouldn't you do something even incrementally to help the situation?
I,
Um,
I,
and
I,
and I just think like closing the border is like a non-starter. You can't, like, no one's going to do that. No president, no matter who they are going to do that. And it's because they know it's economic suicide. So you got to, learn about world economics and stuff like that to realize that we can't do that. Um, so, you know, I'll end there.
All right,
okay.
cool.
So,
Wait,
yeah,
hang on.
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you
I
got
was going
30?
to
Okay,
answer.
I was going to give you 30 seconds. Go ahead, Gerard, and then we're going to go to HNIC.
Well, I wanted 30 seconds to talk about the buzzards, but I needed to. Well, I wanted to respond to him real quick. And so the reason why I don't want to take 10 cents when I know they got $1, because I know they got $1. I don't want to take something that kind of helps the Latin American people. I want them to stop. They can stop any day. They can stop meddling in those countries any day we tell them to. But that has to be bipartisan. We all have to agree that it is not our business to control governments down there. And so that's why I don't want 10 cents, because we know we can get $1 from them. That's why.
Right, but I want
But
to
but
live in reality. I don't want to live in fantasy land. And
well,
if you know how Washington works, the only thing that they can get 100% on is banning TikTok. So
well,
everybody takes things incremental. Do you think Obama's healthcare plan is really what he wanted? No, he wanted universal healthcare, but he did something that would incrementally help the healthcare situation, and he gave 20 million people healthcare.
yeah. Hey,
So
brother,
All right,
brother.
listen.
I just
Hang on. I want to get because this guy Ryan, he's been up here twice. He hasn't had an opportunity to speak. I want to give him an
if I could
opportunity.
just get my 30 seconds and I'll drop. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get back to work.
All right,
I
30
just
seconds. Then Ryan, 30
okay.
seconds. Go
I
ahead.
want Okay, I want to explain what Lou talked about. Lou's talking about a buzzard walk. When you see buzzards circling, you stop what you're doing and you walk out into the desert to find out why. Now,
Right.
thank God I have never found a child. I've mostly found animals. But the reason why we do that, and I didn't even sign up for that, but if everybody here does it because you have a heart. Because this is some of the worst country we have in this world. This is some of the most dangerous territory in terms of rattlesnakes, Mojave rattles. A Mojave rattlesnake can kill a horse in less than 45 minutes. That's 1,500 pounds. A child stands no chance. So when you see buzzards circling, you stop what you're doing, you get in your truck, or you start walking, because you know that there's something out there that's not going to make it, and that's why they're circling. So that's something that we need to focus on. I get there's an economic issue. I get people come here to work and all that, but first are the children. We first got to deal with them, because when you get bit, the coyote would just toss them off to the side. We're going to keep on walking. We don't have time for it, and that's what a buzzard walk is that a lot of people don't know about. I'm gonna give up my box for the sister. I don't know where she is. Did she come in?
I don't think so, not yet. But I appreciate you coming up. I went ahead and followed you back, and
All right.
thank you so much for.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
And just to clarify, I have no idea who he's talking about, and I don't care. I just think, again, I don't live in New York. That's why I don't talk about New York. I want to hear what this sister has to say, y'all, because we got to stand up for our Latin brothers and sisters, because right now they're in states of oppression that are unacceptable. I
All right,
appreciate the
great.
time.
Thank you so much. Ryan, thank you for coming back.
How's it going, Denali?
He was real busy, and I apologize to you, sir, because you have a voice, and I want to hear what you have to say. How did you hear about us?
I've been on with you before.
Oh, you have? Okay, all right. So what say you?
Cruising through and saw your live, so then I jumped into it.
All right. So what say you?
Yeah, when it comes down to it, man, we all need to just come together. I mean, a lot of times our government don't, and as far as the border and stuff, Texas should do what they need to do. The feds should not have a say in it, just like all states. They should be able to do what they need to do.
Right.
But we all know the feds, they hang a little carrot. Oh, well, if you don't do this or don't do that, we're not going to give you funding for this or that. And they play that game. Now, I have not read the bill whatsoever. I'm too busy working. We all know a lot of them bills, they go and try to put extra stuff in there. And then when the Republicans don't like it, they say, oh, well, look, they don't want to do nothing about this bill. They're bad. And the Republicans do it too. I like Trump. I think he speaks a little crazily for president, but we need somebody that hasn't been in office years and years and years. I think they should have term limits on people that make a career out of this. I think a lot of them are corrupt, and you keep flooding our country with people, and you start seeing stuff on the news. Plus, you can't really trust what the news has to say. And a lot of this information too that they're throwing out there, and you got to ask yourself, is this really true or not? And it's tough. You want to believe it, but a lot of times you can't. And I think the bottom line is we need to, as a people, you know, I don't want to say uprising, but, you know, we need to start to come together, and in whatever way that might look like, protest or whatever, but a good protest, not getting all crazy and going nuts and burning stuff down, because that's
January
not the way
6th.
to get your point across. What's that?
No, I said January 6th, anyone?
Right? I mean, I live in Minnesota, and, you know, we had a protest here, and it went horribly wrong. You know, people got their houses burnt down, their businesses, looting, robbing, people got hurt. You know, that's not the way to do it. And then just, we need to stop feeling everything. Everything's about feelings, feelings, feelings. You know, and it's making all of us weak. You know, we need to be stronger, and some of the decisions that we need to do need to be tough. And, you know, a lot of people aren't going to like it, but we keep going down the road that we're going down. It's not going to look good for any of us. You know, the government takes full advantage of us. You know, I think that we should close the border down. We need to stop giving money to all these other countries, and we need to start working. You know, my dad did 22 years in the military, and when he got home from Vietnam, he wasn't treated so well, and he had to fight the VA tooth and nail to get his benefits. And you know, I went to go into the military. My dad said no. I did 22 years to do it, and he's like, they do not treat you like you think you're going to be treated. He's been in all these countries, so he had a lot of knowledge about what was going on in different countries and how they perceived us in the U.S. You know, they don't like us, and
Hey, Mr. Ryan.
you know,
Mr. Ryan.
yeah,
Hey, Mr. Denali,
yeah.
thank you, man. Appreciate you letting me up. I don't ever like to say I'm gonna start my own because I don't want to take nobody from yours, but I had actually I had this planned out where I was gonna start one at 12:30. I'm not saying this to get people away from yours though. You know what I mean? Because
No
respectfully,
problem.
man, I greatly appreciate you and your
What's for me
platform,
is
man.
for me, and no one can take anything that's for me from me, except for God. So
Right,
don't worry about
right
that.
on. I
All right,
appreciate
thank
it,
you
bro.
so
Thanks
much
for
for
Right.
letting me up,
calling.
and I got you with the follow, bro. Thank you very
All right,
much.
Hey,
Y'all be
how
safe.
do I get on yours? How do I get on yours when he's done?
how do what?
Nope. Oh, I missed it.
I think
I'll
his
just
name is
scroll through
Jamming
and see if
something
I
or
can
other.
find.
Jamming.
Yeah, I missed it. But
Appreciate you. I want to go to my main man, Why Dave. He's a subscriber. Subscriber do have benefits. Why Dave? What say you, sir? Why Dave?
Hey, sorry, I was muted.
It's okay.
Um, right up front, I'll admit I'm not the most well versed, but I just some just common sense kind of questions, and I'm gonna Bertie, I'm gonna have to ask you, like, look, when you make a statement that it's the other side, it's the Republicans, it's like that's so divisive. We already know what side or what your political affiliations are, but any chance you get to throw, half the country under the bus, you're throwing Republicans when they were talking about South American countries, and you mentioned Venezuela and Trump. You didn't mention any other stuff that's happened under any of the other administrations. You got to pull back from that because it's just so divisive that everybody's. I mean, for me, I don't remember the rest of the stuff you're talking about because you're so hateful about
Well, hang
about a
on, hang on.
party.
Whoa. Why Dave? I don't think Bernie Dog has said anything that's hateful. I have not heard him say anything like that. He has a definite. Hang on. He's got a definite perspective, and you definitely know where Bernie Dog stands on. but I don't think he has spewed any kind of hatred towards Republicans. Have you heard him? Have you heard him spew hatred?
I think just his whole agenda has that vibe. Maybe ask
I don't get
others.
that vibe from Birdie Dog. I don't get that vibe. I don't really let people who are spewing
Okay.
hate on the platform.
Okay.
Now he can have a
So
different opinion. He's very passionate about what he believes.
I was going to say passionate.
So,
okay.
I'm sorry, Ryan. What
Okay.
you say?
I'll give him that. We'll settle on passion.
Okay, I tell you what. Can you tell me something that was hateful that Birdie Dog has spewed out?
Well, it's just every time it's a jab at conservatives. He
Well, let
will
me ask you
not
a question,
pass
why,
up.
Dave? You're a friend. What president gave the most amnesty to undocumented workers?
I couldn't answer that. I'm not knowledgeable in that area.
18 million by Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
He gave blanket
Conservative.
amnesty to 18 million undocumented people in this country.
Okay. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's huge.
So, who would
And-
you say? Who would you say is better at the border, Republicans or Democrats?
I wouldn't give it to one party or the other than it's whoever was part of that party at that time.
You know that Barack
because
Obama was nicknamed the deporter in chief. He deported more people.
yeah, and I'm sure for this particular argument that drives some on the left a little bit nuts because they
Sure.
can't.
Absolutely.
You know.
I mean, I think I don't know. I think history may tell us that maybe Republicans aren't as great on the border as we like to think.
Right.
Based on those two facts right there.
Right. I
18
think
million
now,
blanketed amnesty by Ronald Reagan. Now, maybe Ronald Reagan.
What does that have to do with what he was saying, though?
Well, he's saying that Birdie Dog has a particular thing. He's always going at conservatives, right? Because Birdie Dog has a particular thing on the border.
No, it's not just the border. He just does it in general.
Well, he's talking. Why Dave was talking about the border because he talked about Venezuela and he came out as hatred, and I was pushing back on that because I don't think that Birdie Dog spews our hatred. I don't. I don't think.
No, I
when
don't
people
either.
say-
I don't either.
when-
I
when
think
you-
he's just
when
really
people
partial.
come at you, Sean. I know who you are, and people may be hearing things through their feelings. But you're not that person. I'll protect you just as much because you're a friend as well.
Oh no, I get it. No, but I get what this guy's saying too. It's like every time there's something brought up, it's always it's always Trump or the
You
right.
know, and I
is
know
what he's
that
saying.
when you say the word hatred, people.
No, that's different. That's different.
People
I get
don't
that.
hear
All right.
anything else, and I don't want
Yeah.
Birdie Dog on this platform for anybody to think that Birdie Dog spews our hate.
I didn't even hear him say that. I just heard the
but
part where he
again,
was talking about
that's
he blames
just
the right
that's
for
just maybe that's just me being oversensitive. Okay, so to my point, yeah, and I apologize, Bertie, if if that's a bad mark on you. That isn't my intention. It's my intention
No
is
offense.
I think that this whole border thing is politically driven. I think that so much of it is because these are potential voters for a particular party. And I think the rationale for wanting to speed everything up, the 6 months versus 2 year comment that somebody said, is because they want to make sure that those votes will be effective on a particular voting cycle. If you
know that
if there was
undocumented people can't vote, right?
No, but that's probably in the works for certain political parties where they want to change that.
I'm just saying, as of right now, undocumented people can't vote.
Yeah. My heart feels that like we should be taking care of our veterans first, our homeless first, our issues here first, and it's really a math problem. I don't want to make a human rights thing a math problem, but it really is. If we have 1 million people that die or leave this country, then we have capacity for 1 million more people to come here if we have that kind of infrastructure. But if we don't have those kind of numbers, then why are we just wide open borders without having the things in place to be able to support that? bringing all these people here, allowing them to be here, allowing them to. And I wanted Bertie to explain the economic problem it would. I would think it's a lot more expensive for us to support all of these folks coming here versus them not coming here, because they're not bringing their money here and spending it here. They are primarily a burden on our resources.
Dave, do you think that people come here from people come from other countries to work?
Sure. I think that's a portion of it.
Do you think that's the majority?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that.
I know.
Because,
What do you think? What do you think?
I think that I think the majority of people want to come here for a better life. Now, if that means working, I don't know. Does that mean, hey, they already know there's a free handout coming? You know what I mean?
Can I ask a question to both of y'all?
Go ahead, Sean.
Do you think that they're sending the majority of their money back to Mexico, or wherever they're from?
I'm sure that if a father comes here with his wife, whatever, yes, he does send money back. We had a guy earlier, Hugo, who said he doesn't send money.
No, I know, but do you think the majority of them are sending their money back to the families?
Yes.
So then their money's not doing us any good, man.
Well, they're doing a job, number one, and when they buy stuff here, they're paying taxes on it.
Yeah, but
don't they have to pay rent, Sean?
Can I say something?
Don't they?
Yeah, but there'll be 10 of them living in a one-room apartment. I mean, it ain't much.
I don't know. I don't know if that to be true. Yes, that does happen. I don't know if that's the majority of people. People do come here to work, and yes, they do send money back to their to their home, wherever their home country is. Absolutely, 100%.
Can I say something now?
Hey, there's about 12 of them right across the street in this one house.
Okay. Why, Dave? Did you land your plane, or did you have more to say, sir?
Well, I wanted if Bertie could explain the economic part of this.
Bertie, do you want to explain the economic part?
Dissertation on what immigrants bring to our country, but you know, if you look at, I mean, if you do your own research and like look up, you know, how many, you know, trillions of dollars that immigrants put into our country, the jobs they take that makes our economy boom, that jobs that can't be filled by regular Americans or don't want to be filled by regular Americans. I mean, I like it's. I could go on for a long time, but I just basically you just need to look of how much money they bring into the economy. It's pretty well documented.
All right. Did that answer your question, Dave?
Yeah, or if he could direct me to a legitimate source that I can do my research. I'm not asking you to do my job, Bertie. I'm just saying.
I'll DM you. I can't like show stuff on screen, but I'll DM you articles. Zeus may have stuff because he has the followers.
Yeah, it's 80. You can go to the DHS website, and it's about roughly 80 million annually that immigrants bring into the economy.
Billion with a B.
Generally, yeah, billion with the B.
Yeah.
And with that said, most immigrants, if you come into the country, first and foremost, once you become documented and you get that work release paper or whatever, you will have to turn around and pay extra money on the taxes that you do pay to the government, at least 5% for the first, I believe it's 3 to 5 years. And then after that, you're still required to pay a higher tax burden than most regular Americans would. So
how much are we forking out though, compared to how much is coming in?
So that's like saying that people that are on food stamps or on government support never get a job. Like no matter how much is being forked out for a temporary amount of time, it's not permanent. That's the whole thing, though, Sean. It's not permanent for each and every person. I don't know how long, like if you've ever moved from one place to another place, but it takes time for people to get settled in a whole new country where they don't really know the language. It takes time for people to get settled in a whole new country where they don't know a language, right? But eventually those people learn the language and they acclimate. By that time, within that 3 to 5 year time frame, then again they're being taxed extra for that time frame, and then beyond that, they're still taxed a little bit more. It's at 5% for the first few years, and then it goes down to an extra 3% until your obligation that you would normally pay going through the regular immigration process is met. And for people that
Where
are
do I find
illegal,
that info
and for
at?
people that are DHS website, and IRS website as well. But for people that are undocumented and we have no full documentation, not asylum seekers and stuff like that, right? Those people cannot receive any services in our country. They cannot get any type of food stamps, any type of work release or anything else of that nature. They can't draw out of the system that if you're living in our country and you're making money, you're paying sales tax and everything else, they can't draw any money from that. The people that you guys are complaining about making money under the table and stuff like that, working
What you
for
guys are
companies
complaining about.
that aren't above board when it comes to their hiring practices. Like, one, those companies still pay, our federal taxes. Now, granted, they're skating over it with the income tax part by paying people in cash, but that cash is still, for the most part, spent in America. Even when you exchange it, hold on, Sean, because I know you're coming. Even when you exchange it, the money is still in American currency. You still have to pay taxes on that money when you send it to other places. And because American currency goes so much farther in most Latin American countries than it does here in America, those people that they're sending the money to get a somewhat of a benefit and a bonus from having a family member that works here in America. Which, again, if you're concerned about people coming to the country and they're getting some type of money, some type of resources, then they don't have to come. They can stay home.
No, what I was saying is the only people I was talking about are the ones who are not legal, who are they do their own businesses. They're they do it under the
Wait,
table. So for instance, for instance, if somebody wants to get an addition onto their room, to be like, hey, yeah, I know this guy over here. He'll do it for so and so, for cat. That they do stuff like that. So then it
so
takes
it's okay for
it cuts people out.
so it's
It
okay
cuts the
for
American worker out.
I mean, not necessarily, right? Because I was just about to say that. Is it okay for an American to do that and not a non-native born person or something? Like, because I could have sworn the Republican
Americans
model
not
was to
going to
pull
do
yourself
that
up by
because
your.
we want a good amount of money. We're not going to say, hey, we'll
You
do this
breaking
for a
up,
case
Sean?
of
You
beer.
breaking up? Say it again.
I said the American worker is not going to do that. We want to make as much money as we can. We're not going to do it for a case of beer. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
What
And
you're
so
talking
at
about,
the end of the
Sean,
day,
is
that's
like
capitalism, right? That's
literally
your
never
choice to
seen.
turn around and go with a cheaper person or a cheaper contractor in order to get a
Yeah, but
job
that's
done.
an illegal
That,
person. That's not a legal. That's not a legal
but
citizen. So what they're doing is they're cutthroat, and they're not even a citizen.
So again, Sean, is it okay for little Timmy down the way to turn around and go door to door and say, "Hey, I'll cut your lawn for $40," but it's not okay for a person that's not native born to
You're
do it? When
goddamn
again,
right. You're damn right because they're not a citizen. You're goddamn right.
Americans,
You're
sir,
right.
America's
No, they're
model is
not
to pull yourself.
absurd.
Hang on, what'd you say?
Absurd.
You said America's what?
America's model is to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and these people are literally coming here and doing that. They're taking the down gutter rate jobs that don't nobody want to turn around and pay a whole bunch of
No,
extra
that is
money
not
for.
true.
If
It's
I don't have to,
not just the gutter
if I
jobs.
don't
It's not
have,
true.
It's
you
mostly
just
true.
said that, Sean. You literally just said that.
No,
And
what
for
I did,
people in
what I
that
said was
situation,
just
like,
to cutthroat everybody because they live next to nothing. 12 of them to a house, and they send their
and
money
that's a
back to
prejudicial
Mexico,
statement
which
for you
is
to say,
worth.
Sean. I
Hold
just
on,
It
want you to
sounds
know
like
which
that.
is worth
it sounds like
Oh
$10.
you're
No, it's
man,
not
I'm
saying
because I've
telling you,
worked
man.
with them.
I don't know
I've
what's
worked
going
with
on
them.
today. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
It sounds a lot like demonizing immigrants to me, is what Sean is doing.
What do you
No, it's what it is. It's truth.
Denali, can I add something?
Real quick before you add that, y'all, let's make sure we keep tapping the screen, like tap it up, because there's 82 people in here, and you guys seem to still be enjoying the conversation. But y'all not tapping while y'all commenting, y'all not tapping while y'all watching, while y'all listening. Y'all tap the screen, keep tapping the screen. Let's make sure we get Mr. Denali to his gift goal so we can continue to push this beautiful, beautiful show out, so that everybody's voices can be heard and we all have a platform. Go ahead, whoever was about to
DeLuca,
turn around and try and
what
correct
you
the
got?
situation.
DeLuca's always he's got the show and tell. DeLuca, what you got now, bro?
Well, a couple things before I get to what's on the
He
screen.
comes with receipts.
Allegedly, I keep hearing the argument that Americans don't want to work. They don't want these jobs. These jobs. No one wants these jobs. Therefore, the migrants are taking these jobs, these unwanted jobs. I would argue that we've created a system where, in some cases, you can make as much or even more money sitting at home on your butt. Then,
DeLuca,
hey,
that's not fair.
Are you
Denali, I
saying?
said in some cases, yes, you can.
Give me a case.
So is remote work a problem? Is that
Give
the
me a
argument?
give me a case that you're talking about where you're sitting at home and you're making more than going out to work.
Well, let's take example for the most recent pandemic we've had. People were being paid to stay home.
Okay, would you say that is a problem because of their wages?
I think it's a combination of things, but what people do.
You think that people, if they were making a great wage, they would rather sit home and get the $600 a week than go to work?
I think, and I know this for a fact
No,
because
tell me how you know it for a fact.
Because I own at the time of this pandemic.
I can tell you.
I owned 3 businesses, 3 restaurants.
Okay.
Right, and the government was paying people to stay at home.
What was your wages? What were the wages at your restaurant, sir?
It varied depending on the position.
What?
But let's take.
What was the average wage of a person working at your restaurant, sir?
Okay, my serve staff was averaging about $65 an hour.
Wait, how were they averaging 60? What were you paying them per hour, sir?
Well, in my state, our minimum wage was at the time $4. And when I say my minimum wage, so for serve staff, it's half of the federal. So legally, you're required to pay $4.10.
What were you paying your wait staff, sir?
I was paying my wage staff $8.20 an hour.
Stop right there. How do you go from 8 to 65, sir?
Because when you calculate the tips that they earn.
Are tips guaranteed, sir, during the pandemic, sir?
Tips went up because people felt sorry for them.
Were they guaranteed, sir?
It was the biggest hustle.
Were they guaranteed?
Huh?
Was that $65 guaranteed?
Oh, absolutely, man.
What do you mean? So if they didn't make the $65 per hour, you would chip in, right?
No. The issue was people were tipping beyond belief. That's a whole different argument. That's not the argument I'm trying to make here.
The argument that I'm making is that during those type of things, if people were making more at home on unemployment, doesn't that say more about what the wages they make when they go to work?
No, they didn't have no.
No, it doesn't.
You're not. Wait a minute. You're not seeing the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that the work ethic was, hey, I can sit on my butt at home, make just as much money, and do nothing.
Why would you? So, sorry. Oh my goodness.
Didn't Trump do that? By the way,
the enhanced. My friend did that.
The enhanced minimum wage was $600, something like that. And then I guess depending on the state, you were probably making $800 because most, if I'm not mistaken, and don't quote me, I think the average was around $250 per week from the state. So that's $850, which I don't know what you guys make, but I can't live. My lifestyle is way more than $850 per week.
Some people can though. My friend did it. He said, "Why am I going to go to work when I can make $800 and don't have to do shit?"
Would you say, Sean, that's the rule or is that the exception?
I'd say there was
That just depends, man. I mean, it depends on like for me and you or whoever else. I mean, shit, that ain't near enough. I got to have $2,000 plus a week, easy.
exactly,
Oh,
or more.
okay,
So
so
real quick, uh,
your whole argument though is kind of flawed because one, the pandemic is not still going on. Two, people aren't
no,
still receiving
you're right, but
people aren't still receiving those unemployment checks at that level.
Zeus,
Three,
Zeus,
the
but the problem is
most people that were remote working in America as Americans were only doing it because their jobs weren't essential. And if they were essential, then for the most part, you were still coming into work. Like as a restaurant, you're technically considered an essential place of employment because people have to go there to eat. So if you're, and this is coming from a person that also works in the service industry in Louisiana, like if you are managing to stay up and stay afloat after everything that was going on, congratulations, but not everybody had that. But because people were getting extra money, I can almost see why you're saying their tips were guaranteed because people were making extra bits of coin, but that didn't work for everybody everywhere. In Louisiana, we got 400 from the government, 400 federal and 200 state. But again, that money is no longer there. So if there are companies that have remote working, generally they're not hiring people that aren't American citizens or don't have a social security number. So I don't get, like, are you saying that basically Americans that are sitting at home can go and work these jobs?
I'm
Hang on,
saying
before you answer
what
that,
I'm
Blue.
Americans
saying
that
is
are
that
unskilled
no, sir,
in
sir. If I could say it, what that did was it created an environment where people said, you know what, or I should say, some people said, you know what, I'm just going to sit at home and ride this thing out. The work ethic changed. I don't know if you want to admit that or not, but the American work ethic has changed where these migrants, some of these migrants who are crossing into America, they come here extremely hungry, so to speak, figuratively speaking, that they want as much as they can get, however they can get it. That's that, and that's just a sidebar. What I
Good
really
thing,
wanted
right?
to talk
All
about,
right,
because
okay,
I heard
all right.
someone mention $80 billion in taxes that are paid annually. But what they won't say is that each year it's costing the American taxpayers $151 billion.
All right.
And
Okay.
and
All right.
thirdly, Denali,
Okay.
my last
No,
point,
no, no, no more last point. No more
Denali,
last
this
point.
one's important.
No more last point. Okay. Now, Precious is in the room. She is a subscriber. Subscribers have benefits over here. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to Precious. She's going to say what she needs to say, and then we're going to go to HNIC, and we're going to hear what HN, because he's been waiting patiently as well, as some people have been having a lot to say, and I've allowed it to say because I enjoy a good conversation. And then we'll close it out with my man. What is your name? Hessen. So Precious, who is a subscriber, what say you, Precious?
I think
I
it was
from
DeLuca
Syria.
who said that he owned rest.
I speak
Who is
Arabic.
talking right now other than Precious?
You from Syria? Speak Arabic, my friend.
Sir or ma'am, please stop talking.
He's a
He doesn't
foreigner. He
understand
doesn't know. He
English.
doesn't
Well then,
understand
you know
English. He's
what? He
asking
shouldn't
for
be up
help.
here then. He shouldn't be up here if he doesn't understand, because I was very clear in what I said. Precious,
He's in.
please. I don't
He's in
care.
Syria. Want me to
I
drop him
don't
down?
care where he's at. This is not that type of show. We're not talking about that. We're talking about America right now. He wants to say something, then he need to come up here like everybody else in his turn. And I hate to be like that, but geez, we got to have some respect and decorum. I don't want a platform where people are talking over people. If you don't understand what I'm saying, then maybe this is not the live for you. Precious, you may continue.
I just wanted to say, whoever owned the restaurants, I think it was DeLuca,
Yes.
during COVID, the height of COVID, I made the most money in my life. I work in a high-end restaurant. The problem was we were shut down for 5 weeks, okay? And more than half of my employees stayed home. They chose to stay home, and we never got them back because they make more money staying home. We actually do have people that are quitting still. I just lost 2 managers because they're going to work from home. So people don't want to get up and get dressed and take a shower. It's pretty much that's all I wanted to say. For again, the restaurant industry, it really depended what state you were in. But during the height of COVID, where they're telling you, stay inside because you're going to be unalived, I made the most money in my entire life. So I don't want to, it's, there's so much misinformation that's going on around COVID. And I think it all boils down to what you said, Mr. Denali. Everyone had their own personal experience. And as far as the immigration goes,
Yes.
um, my whole entire back of the house, my whole entire kitchen, they are all here illegally. We all know it. They know it. We discuss it. I listen to the trips that they take. They're horrible trips. And I can tell you right now, they are scared. They know they are doing something wrong right now, and they are afraid of Donald Trump because they feel that he is going to make them leave. They're already trying. You know where they want to go. They're trying to transfer because you can transfer with my restaurant. They're all trying to transfer to Chicago and New York because they feel they'll be safe there.
All
That's
right.
really all I wanted to say.
Precious,
And then you have, but that's the whole thing. I've been listening to this live for a couple of hours, and when people say their own personal experience, you have people on here saying that's not true.
That's
And
true.
that's like one of the most annoying things that I hear when you actually have people like that one guy. Hey, I'm here in Texas, and then you have people telling him that's not true.
Right.
It's one of the most annoying things, not
It's
necessarily on
dismissive.
this
It's
live. It
dismissive.
is. It's exactly, because we all have our own experience throughout this whole entire thing. And the amount of misinformation that is out there, you're not going to change anybody's mind. And at this point, you need to vote with what you see with your eyes. Whatever you see with your eyes, follow your gut because they all hate us. The Republicans, the Democrats, none of them are doing anything for us.
Thank you, Precious. Precious is our good friend down in Florida, and she gave her perspective as far as what's going on with undocumented people and things like that. So I want to thank her for what she said. I also now
Mr.
want to
Denali, can I just say something to you real quick, and then I'm
sure.
out.
Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, do you realize how big those people
Meeting.
were
I got a
up on
meeting.
your
I got a
panel?
meeting coming up, and I've been waiting for a while.
Go ahead.
I got 1 minute.
What happened now? What,
I don't.
Sean?
I said, do you realize how big those people were up on your panel, man? That's good for you. That's good for you.
Oh,
They're
you talk
huge,
about
man.
jamming and American whatever?
Jamming and American Lumberjack and what's his name? That the other one that's
Gerard.
out in the desert. Gerard, yeah, they're huge, man.
Good. I
They're huge.
appreciate you coming on.
That's awesome. You had that on your. That's awesome. You had them on your panel.
Thank you so much, Sean. HNIC. Go ahead, sir. HNIC. HNIC. All right. Going once. HNIC. Going twice. I don't see the cups.
In the meeting.
No, I got a meeting, man.
Oh,
Sorry.
all right, guys. Well, listen. This is the end of the live. We've been up here for 4 hours. I appreciate everybody who's come up. I appreciate everybody who has lent their voice to what we're building over here, being the most inclusive space here on TikTok. Thank you for the likes. We got up over 53,000. I do have some bad news. I want to make sure I tell everybody this now. I just found out about an hour or so ago while we were in the middle of talking. Our interview with Malijah G tomorrow will not be happening due to a scheduling conflict. So we're trying to get that rescheduled for him to come up and give his story. That's the man that spent 37 years in prison, and he has a great story. We want to hear it. But tomorrow, that interview will not be happening, unfortunately. But we are in the works to get that rescheduled for the platform. So I wanted to say that before I get off. And we're still working on some other interviews, but that one tomorrow will not be happening at this particular time, and we're trying to get that rescheduled. So I want to make sure that I said that before I got off the air. All right, Birdie Dog, I appreciate you. Zeus, you know how I feel about you as well, brother. And DeLuca, new friend to the platform. This is the second time here. He comes with his information. He's ready. He's ready to have a verbal joust, man. He's ready. He's got his information. He comes with his show and tell and everything else like that. So I definitely appreciate him. I also appreciate my girl Precious and everybody who is subscribers who come and lend their voice. I also want to give a special shout out to Jammin for coming over. He's got large following, so he gave us a little sunshine over here on our platform as we continue to march towards 10,000 followers. as we continue to march to becoming the most inclusive space here on TikTok. I want to thank everybody who came up for their perspective. Remember, you will have an opportunity to finish over here. Your experiences will be respected and they will not be dismissed. Who is this trying to come up as I'm ending? Let's give PK a couple
I had
minutes.
to take on the whole panel today.
I helped you out a little bit,
Not
Bernie.
much.
Birdie, I was down in
Bernie.
the comments having your back, bro. I
Wow.
had
But
I
when
had
that,
you in
when
the
that dude
comments,
said
my
you were
G.
spewing out hatred, I thought I defended you very well.
I
I
had your
don't
back
know.
also.
You don't know, are you?
No, the hatred part, yes, but with the whole immigration thing, you were like, I was pretty much the only one
All
up here.
right.
Like,
Thank you so much, DeLuca. You're welcome, sir. PK, you're gonna close us out. What you got?
Oh shit, man! I
Oh
got
shit, what?
no. That was a surprise. I just came up on the panel, but no,
No, I saw you trying to request, and you are a subscriber, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to say something before we end the show.
Oh, you about to close out? Okay, yeah. I did read up on the remain in Mexico policy a little, and so what happens is the immigrants actually cross over. We give them documentations to try to get their paperwork in order, and in the meantime, go back to Mexico and wait for us to call you, basically. That and again, they're saying that it worked. I think why they feel like it worked was because it was done during the COVID times when the border was in essence closed. So the numbers weren't like like overwhelming, so to speak, because the numbers were already low. So that's why they feel
right.
like it actually worked, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
And then we don't have jurisdiction over Mexico, so we're gonna tell you to go back to Mexico, and then what?
All right. Okay,
That's my
I
PK.
mean,
that's my
in
point.
2019, the amount of people crossing the border rose to almost 500%.
Yeah,
So
caravan.
that's when the surge started. And then
Exactly.
what they're talking about, we did shut on during COVID, we shut it off for 2 years.
In the world, not only us, the
And
world.
then they're wondering why after you shut it off for 2 years, why all of a sudden there's this huge surge, like it just came out of the blue because Biden was in office.
Right.
No, it came because they were getting sued for remain in Mexico, and Biden chose not to fight the lawsuits and let it expire. You know,
All right. Okay. I want to, we're ending, but Caroline, who is a subscriber, I want to give her an opportunity. She hasn't been up all day. Caroline, what say you, man?
Real quick,
Well, I just
just
want to
real
say
quick,
that before the
Miss Karen, real
pandemic,
quick, Miss Karen, real quick, y'all. It seems like
yeah.
we almost may be going into overtime. In order to push us into overtime, y'all, if anybody is listening, please go ahead and give Mr. Denali right now. Hit that Cash App, hit that Venmo right now, because we're trying to.
I don't
At this
think
point, we are
Denali
pushing
wants
him
to
into
go.
overtime.
No, there's no
Nah,
overtime today. I got stuff to do. I
if the
appreciate
Cash
you,
App
but
flow, I'm telling
I
y'all, he
got,
going.
I got to go to the job that pays my mortgage. So I got a driver that's having some problems. So I got to get out there and get my hands dirty on the
We
front
pimping
line.
Mr. Denali out today, y'all. Let's keep sending. No, I'm just playing. Have a good one, my man. Take
Oh,
care,
where'd he
y'all. Thanks
go?
for
Where'd
being here.
Carolyn go? What happened?
She dropped down. I'm trying to bring her back up now.
Oh, please tell her to come back up. I'll extend the show a little bit for her. Absolutely, because she's a good supporter here at Mr. Denali. Carolyn, if you want to come back up, come back up. I don't see her. I hope she wasn't offended. I don't see her. Miss Carolyn, I hope you didn't drop because, okay, well, I'll send her a private message, let her know what the situation is. All right, PK and Birdie Dog. Birdie Dog, my main man, Birdie Dog. He doesn't think I defended him. I thought I did pretty good today, but okay, I can do
no,
better.
you did all right. It's
I
just,
think.
I mean, it was still like 5-on-1. You know,
No, I was with you, Birdie, but I had a
PK was
phone
right
call.
in. PK was right there in the ring with you.
PK's always lit. PK's not loud enough though.
PK is a very soft-spoken guy, but he definitely brings a punch because he's got his information. He has a perspective, and he's got some. He has his experiences as well. So PK did what he could do. He tried to help Zeus the other night too. PK's on it. PK's on it. Who's this? Is this Top Hat? That's my main man, Top Hat. Do you want to come on? Okay. All right. Well, listen, I gotta end. Otherwise, I'll never get out of here. So listen, guys, appreciate everybody. We'll be back tomorrow at 10. The interview again with Elijah G will not be happening tomorrow due to scheduling conflict, but we're working on to get him on a day where both our schedules will fit. But we will be talking about some new issues tomorrow, and I appreciate everybody. And everybody have a great day, and I'll see you next time tomorrow at 10.
Put Duke in that slot.
PK,
All right,
PK. I'll talk to you later, buddy. Thank you so much. Bye.
Yo.